and farm. I don't think it's that concerning. We do also have Ricky Short online.
Time to fight. That's a smoke. Talon is saying, enough of this. We have our ultis up. Oli has finally gotten his level 6.
It's nighttime as well.
30 seconds to darkness though.
Gotcha Spectre. Blade Mill immediately from 23 Savage. Sleeping Dart will hit him. Just stop him for a second. Jazz playing aggressively. There's the Void. Slowing down Sai a little bit. But that's not enough initiation. Mikoto hiding in the trees. Does he have a blink yet? He will go in with a snowball. That's going to catch the puck, and they're going to kill him immediately. Nisha's dead. Thanks to a crippling Fury. Couldn't jaunt away. Insania in a similar position. That's going to be the second death for Liquid. The rest retreat. They can't void Mika in time.
Big plays, man. That's a very, very big play. That puck kill was so big for Talon. That's going to give them time to farm, time to recuperate. Now they don't really have to worry about the Roshan for say, a minute or two, and they are able to just go and farm and get the map back. This is so crucial that they actually held that area, you know. Props to Talon. Liquid has to try to find a timing. Again, you know, I'm just emphasizing this Rosh. They have to find an opportunity to get Roshan and to keep the ball rolling. You know, they have this 5-6K lead, but if you don't get the ball rolling and you're playing against Spectre, you're going to be in trouble later.
Some other analysts have told me that the first Rosh is just not valued these days as much as it used to be.
But they have to get the Rosh to control the map. And you don't want to lose a fight because the enemy has Spectre. Spectre is pretty decent at killing off Rosh with Desolate. You don't want that to happen to you.
Right, so what matters is that they don't let the Rosh for the enemy more so than the use of the Aegis for themselves.
Yeah. The second Rosh is going to be very, very crucial. We see a Sleeping Guard on Mikoto. He has a blink. He actually rushed the blink without even getting Falcon Blade. So I think that's very, very good that he reads that his team needs him to be that initiating hero. They are not going to have time for the Tusk to play more farm-oriented and allow the enemy team to just take the map, you know. So this is a very good decision from him. He's rushing the BKB next. Yep. That's also really, really important. He needs to be the frontliner, and let's see if he can actually get the BKB before the Rosh fight.
And the other person who's also getting a blink winter is going to be this Night Stalker Jabs. He is on puck duty. They realize crippling Fury plus Tusk. Puck cannot survive that, and at least for a while. What is the solution for Puck? Do you just immediately BKB? Is he going for Kai and Suns?
Stuff. Usually you get 4 stuff.
Oh, 4 stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
But you don't get it right away. You get it maybe after your second item. That's normally what I see players do. And
so you don't want to get it 4 stuff?
Yeah, you don't want to get it too early because it ruins your game as a Puck. You want to get all the other like core items, your Blink, your Witchblade, maybe your Kaya Sanj.
Okay. But in between, he's just going to be vulnerable to this, right?
Yeah, he has to rely on his team. I feel like especially the Lycan, he needs the Lycan to go in, scout the team fights. If he doesn't see the Night Stalker, he should be very, very careful of his positioning. Or you can just coil the Night Stalker because the Night Stalker doesn't have a BKB yet. So if you see him first, you get the coil on the Night Stalker, then you don't have to worry about that.
Quite a fast BKB for the MP on Mickey. He now is ready to perhaps fight a little bit more freely. Won't have to suffer the Mortimer's Kisses, but still has to be wary of that Walrus Punch and Chaotic Offering. It's not like they have bad control when people have BKBs.
Yeah. So right now, what are they trying to do? They're still trying to... I feel like they're not very sure what they should be doing. They've been moving around top to mid, moving just up and down. Now they are running into the enemy jungle triangle with a smoke, but there's 2 Treants currently scouting and blocking the spawns there. That's very nice play from Mike, making sure that the Spectre doesn't get to farm the Ancients, and Spectre seems like he's going to be in trouble. He's daggered. Oh my god, they have vision on him.
They do have vision. He's going to use Haunt immediately. Where did he go? They got a Spectre. There we go. Try to TP. There's no stuns. Plays there enough damage.
Wow,
he gets away.
That is so important that he doesn't die there if Talon wants to have a chance in the Roshan fight.
They even forced a shapeshift there. Now they go for a cookie play with Mortimer's Kisses. In goes Mikoto. And they're going to turn this around. Actually getting the kill on a shapeshifted Lycan.
Yeah, Talon just once again showing their prowess, you know, even though they didn't get a very good start, they're somehow able, all the time, you know, they find a way, they find a way to counter the gank, they find a way to survive, they find a way to farm on the map, they find a way to hold the towers, and yeah, just Talon just doing their magic once again.
Now, this is why they can always play these greedy lineups, man. This is how they get away with it. Yeah. It's called Mikoto, Winter. It's just Mikoto.
Yeah, but then again, you have to think about like how Liquid actually kind of messed up the gank, you know, they were rushing, the dagger was thrown out by the Rubik a little too quickly.
Oh no. They got the puck too. Okay, the cookie missed, they have a scatter blast, they don't counter that properly. Q is now in trouble, he's now silenced, body blocked, he's dead. In fact, Liquid continue this, they want more, they want another support. Pop. The Warlock, they stole the cookie, that's going to stun the Warlock and Knife, and Dark Ascension is not actually that successful at killing anyone, but at least the Night Stalker is not going to die. Mikoto comes in, trying to finish up this kill, but a quick phase shift and John from Nisha will save him.
Surely this is a time for Roche, right? Nice Stalker pop his ulti. They got 2 kills on the supports. Even Kisses not ready yet. Okay, they're going to the Roche, finally.
Okay. Is the Roche play you've wanted this whole time, Winter? Are they safe to take it? There's no kisses? There is
the
no
wall
hunt.
of rock though. But
They do?
I don't think they have enough. There's no haunt. The only thing they have is the wall of rock. I don't think they can actually try to contest here. Maybe they're gonna try to steal with the Tusk. He has Blink. Are they trying to do that? Okay.
No. He's very far. They're just gonna let the first Roche go.
Yeah, that's sensible, you know. I don't think they should try to risk anything and lose any more heroes and fall further behind. They have to try to keep scaling on the Spectre. He has completed his Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to allow them to get pickoffs. Pickoffs is going to be the most important thing that they need to focus on. They have to try to get kills, delay the game.
Yes, killing the Riki. That's going to start with the Dream Cold. Does catch a Tusk. What else do they have here to stop him? Apparently telekinesis, but the upheaval is annoying them. Now with the rock.
Oh, here comes Mike.
It's going to be Mike from behind with the Gleipnir. They're committing for Mikoto, but he does have a Quelling Blade in time. They will have to lose jabs there. As Mike trying to go slowly up to the high ground, making sure they keep that distance. Mikoto went back in just to die. BKB TP from Mike. Now they're back to consistent, patient Liquid, playing this just on the nice edge here.
Yeah, they're gonna
that play by Insit. Oh no, that's Nish is fine. They have no more stuns. They have a Warlock. That's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, and they're gonna claim the tier 2 at top. That's gonna allow them outpost control and probably around 75-80% of the map. Right now, Talon only has this triangle, the Ancients area, and they have to try to send somebody to push out the lanes and die. You know, I feel like if they don't do that, they're gonna have very little farm to spare on the map, and somebody has to be the sacrificial lamb to allow the team to continue scaling.
Who is going to be the sacrificial lamb here?
It's probably Snapfire.
Okay. Q has been a hugely impactful hero or player for this team, particularly on his Tiny. But this game on the Snapfire, he hasn't had the chance to be able to make those plays.
Yeah, he's on a very, very different hero. Usually he's on an initiating hero, but they're going to try to smoke here. They have mech on the Snapfire, they have their ultimates ready, Dark Accession ready, they have the Mortimer's Kiss.
Jabba smells some couriers, that's what he's going for here. He's learned from the Matthew plays.
Yeah, ignore the Rubik.
Ignore the Rubik? Nope, they're not.
All right, nope.
It's a kill.
A kill is a kill, I guess.
Yeah, but it is quite a... I mean, he's happy to tank that smoke.
Yeah, and Jabba is just doing annoying Riki things, trying to kill the career. They're going to
Blink
find
Dagger.
Nisha.
And they do have a Shadow Step as well, so Nisha will lose his Aegis. Crippling Fear, though. It's run out.
Cookie, can they time the cookie?
Can they do it? Q's going to try. Oh, that was so close. Blink just in time from Nisha. Chasing after him. He will jump to the orb. They're lacking stuns. They can't catch him anymore. Ice Shard at least to give some vision. Jab still chasing after him. Now, the smoke screen stopping the Tusk from always punching him as well. Nisha will get away.
That is bad. They had to spend so much to try and get the puck there.
Nisha, yeah, clap for Nisha. Everyone's so proud of this man.
Liquid is gonna just get full reign of the game right now. Talon has expanded all their big ultimates. This is not looking good. They have to try to push the creeps, try to shove the lanes as far as possible and to avoid Liquid getting near their base, you know. But unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. Liquid is already knocking on the door. Lycan has his shift up.
Oh, and Mikoto, that blink just in time. They ignore the Sprout. He still has the Quelling Blade. He's keeping that just in case. They want to punish Mickey for this, but TP from Q is a little bit too long. Mickey's very slow, by the way. Does he have boots?
No,
he does not. That's why. Okay.
He's staggered.
He went for 4-step instead. That's a solution to the boots. Mid lane, there's also a fight happening, by the way. They caught Q, and Q is just going to die. I didn't know why he moved to the low ground there. Was that telekinesis, most likely?
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna know there's a vision there. There's an observer ward.
Right.
Yeah, they should know.
And now Jabs, they see him, Gleipnir, Mickey, he wants revenge, sprouts him first. We do have the Crippling Fear, but no Dark Ascension. Jabs
TP?
trying to play around the trees turned alive, and now Jabs turned dead.
Oh boy, that is not looking good for Talon right now. Like Jab's dying again. He was trying to dodge around the tree, lose vision, and try to get a blink away. Maybe if he actually TP'd after the Gleipnir ended, maybe he would have actually survived there. But that's a pretty costly death, I would say, for Talon. Like I said, you know, somebody has to push, somebody has to create some space, somebody has to get the waves out, and I don't like it that it's Jabs, you know.
Why not?
I prefer it on the Snapfire. I don't feel like he should be giving up his life so much, you know. He has to carry the game.
He's now taking the flag of being the one that pushes lanes. Activates BKB, and maybe it was a bait with a Shadow Step, but that seems like it was a bait for the Spectre himself. 23 Savage and Mikoto fall side by side, killing nobody here.
Yeah, the game is just going at a too fast of a pace for Talon to deal with. You know, they have this greedy draft, the lanes are not pushed out, they're struggling to deal with this Liquid aggression, you know. Liquid is just doing all the right moves, pressuring the map, choking them out of every single bit of farm on the map, you know. This is just really difficult spot for Talon at the moment.
AC for the Lycan as well, so now we have push at these towers with this little minus armor there.
Roshan may spawn 3 minutes. I guess they'll probably wait for the second Rosh before they attempt high ground, unless they get a significant pick-off. But Zai has all the items they need, you know, to go high ground. He has the AC, he has the Blats, he has the
That's not a Tusk, by the way. That's a Lycan. That's stat lib. Who got the AC a little bit faster than the average. Pretty impressive job by Zai.
Yep, pretty impressive stuff, you know. Tusk has to get the Axe, not the AC, you know, to enable them to defend the high ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that Axe is still 4,200 gold away, Winter. How do you find 4,200 gold in this game?
If there is a will, there is a way, bro.
Okay, that's the C way, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you said in MUFC as well?
Please.
23 Savage just got put to sleep, but it's just for a spray. He has been, for the most part, getting away with some dangerous haunts and shadow steps. But that last one, I think, might have taught him a lesson there.
He has to try to do what Ana did when he was playing Spectre when they were losing, when OG was losing. Oh,
okay. Get a Walrus Punch with the cookie. That's going to kill Insania.
They need more kills.
They need a better kill as well. Jabba, that's going to be a second support. Tricks of the trade. He did get dusted, and that should be enough to finish him off. Ricky kill is quite valuable, but no cores yet. Jabs knows this. He wanted more. Jabs.
Oh, this is risky.
This is very risky. He thinks he can kill the puck. They still have Haunt. They don't. They have Shadow Step in 1 second, though. That's what they're playing around.
If he gets called, he might actually just die here.
Oh, he goes for the puck. Shadow Step. There we go. Everyone for the puck. There's an E-Blade in time. They can't hit him any longer. Snowball, though. That's going to be enough to keep him in place and kill him. One of us gets from a long away, and the Warlock Golem comes out trying to stun the Lycan, but he's too fast. Jabs is now dead. Mickey joined as well. They put the Spectre to sleep. They want a body flutter perhaps? No. The Zaya acknowledges Spectre still deals a lot of damage, but he's slowed. He's just a little bit too weak. Up to the high gun he goes. They have vision of him through the low grab. There's a Mickey waiting for him. He's dead.
And Jabs.
Jabba catches Q. 4 versus 4 fight is going to be a win for Liquid as they send their carry in. There's only one core remaining. It's going to be Mikoto. He tries to TP. Do they have anything to cancel it? They do not.
Wow.
Mikoto will get away with that snowball.
But this is high ground. Liquid is going to go knocking on the high ground. Puck is going to be alive in 10 seconds. Everybody else, they have their BKBs up on the Nature's Prophet. Oh my god, this is... How are they going to defend? They are not going to be able to defend this. They might have to concede the tower. Maybe even one of the Rexes. I'm not so sure here if they can actually defend. Alright, this upheaval is actually doing work.
I can't believe upheaval is what deters their aggression. But still 18k lead for Liquid, Winter. Even if you do have a supposedly better late game, you're playing with a tri-core, NP is almost doubling the Spectre's farm, 9k ahead.
I want to believe, but this is looking hard, man. This is looking hard.
In South America, we say the last thing you lose is hope. Right? As long as it's mathematically possible, Winter.
As long as there's light.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. But the tunnel is really deep and very narrow.
It's a very long and dark tunnel right now. Talon is just stuck in a rock and a hard place at the moment. They have to try to find a way, win a team fight. They need to win maybe even 2 to 3 team fights to get themselves back in the game. But let's start with one. Let's look for one good team fight with all your ultimates.
Right, what do they say? You gotta walk before you run, right?
Yep, absolutely. Night Stalker almost has his BKB. That's going to be very big for him, so he can just avoid the call from the puck. Yeah, this E-Blade is actually quite risky. I'm quite surprised. Like, he actually just died in the last fight. He E-Bladed himself and he got destroyed by the Monoverse case.
Well, it's actually the snowball as well, right?
Yeah.
Because of the snowball stun, he couldn't actually get away. He was hoping they didn't have a Tusk with him. It does prevent the combo of Night Stalker jumping onto you.
He's trying to get a 4-star now, so he realizes he needs the 4-star.
Yeah, that's probably the best option.
He's going to have it soon, so that should be fine for him.
Look at Savage, though. He's actually going for Nullifier, so this E-Blade does matter to him to some degree.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Nullifier also deals with the 4 steps on the enemy, so it's a twofer here.
They have to try to jump at the same time, Jabs and 23 Savage. If they want to get the puck after he has forced off, they have to coordinate their initiations. They move on him, get the nullifier on him so he can't really escape the silence from the Night Stalker. So it's not that easy to coordinate, but I believe that Talon has the abilities to do it.
We'll see. For now, there's a second rush. You talked about this, Winter. This is the important one for the game. Comes with a shard as well. Yes, yes, whistle. They know. They know, guys.
Who's getting the shot? Let's see. Who is actually getting the shot? Do you give it to Puck?
Okay. For phase shift attack?
Yeah. I guess so.
That's interesting.
I mean, he does a lot of right-click damage.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess the other shards, because Rubik and Ricky already have theirs, and those are the important ones.
Yep.
And the rest of them just don't matter very much. Curse of the Old Growth,
I mean,
maybe.
yeah, Nature's Prophet shot is pretty good.
Remember when it came out, people all said it was pretty terrible.
It's good against Spectre though, because if you think about it, Spectre's gonna try to hide around the map. They're losing right now, right? Look at what he's doing. He has to try and hide around,
right?
Try to get some farm, and that could be actually very useful for them.
Yeah, you're right. Curse of the Old Growth could seam the trees. It's also useful for the Night Stalker as well.
Yep.
But Nisha's Nisha, and he wants the damage.
Yeah, he's the boss, you know. If he wants the shot, if he wants the Roach kill, you give it to him, man.
Yeah, he says one thing the whole game, and that's the thing he just said. So you got to listen to it. It's in his contract. But he's not the best player in the world, of course, as he says.
What he says doesn't matter. What we think matters.
No, so you do think that?
Everybody thinks he's the... Yeah.
You're on the bandwagon there?
I'm definitely on the bandwagon.
I would agree. It feels like Liquid has also managed to enable him even more, which is crazy. But this team seems to work really well around him.
Yeah, sometimes you need a change of environment. You know, sometimes things are getting too still. However, for Talon, you know, they have to try and dig deep as usual. All the Talon games so far, like even during the group stages games, you know, some of the games, everybody, oh wait, Talon's done. But somehow they find a way. They always find a way, you know. They don't give up.
They find a C way, honestly.
Yeah, they find a C way.
Yeah. This is the team that, I mean, we had the region which had the longest game time by like 8 minutes. So there is a reason for that. They're experts in the late game.
As long as you don't give up, there is always a chance the enemy messes up.
We'll see if Liquid gives him that chance, though. It seems to be out of Talon's hands right now.
Yep.
Pushing the racks with a double damage Mickey. It's not going to take long to destroy the structure.
They have to give this Rex, I think. They have to give up this Rex. There's no way they can fight here.
No, they just have BKB on Zai. Zai is pretty much a carry now. He's gone from the pushing Lycan. He hasn't even finished the Helm of the Overlord. He's just straight up a carry.
They have buyback on Spectre. I think what they need to do is they have to send the Spectre in front, try to let Liquid jump on him, use buyback, and try to turn the fight.
Okay. We'll see the play. Oh, not if Nisha is annoying them like this. He gets away easily, and I think that was the Shadow Step that they used? Yeah, that was the Shadow Step. All right. So they only have Haunt now.
Denying the Rex, okay.
Yeah, sure, that's the desperation mode. They even missed the Scatter Blast. Mickey's not too phased by this. They're going to go for the last set of Rex. Nothing is stopping them, really.
Yep, we've seen Talon did this in the previous series. They gave up a Rex against Shopify to try to get into the later portions of the game where their heroes are going to be stronger. But here, the game is entirely different. They are further even behind. This is looking tough, but I do believe it's the right decision. They have to try to wait for this Aghanim's, but he doesn't have time to get the Aghanim, so they have to defend the Rex here, the last remaining Rex.
There's a Dark Ascension. Okay, there's the attempt from Jabs. And they do kill Nisha to begin with. That's a pretty big kill for them. As they go for Insania next, Insania is just diverting their attention because the rest of his team is just pushing him the tier 3 down. Mickey slowed down by the upheaval. What are they going to do? Will they retreat? No, they stand their ground, actually. Liquid, confident, shapeshift from Zai. Now Mickey, there's a snowball going on to him. He can't really prevent that, but he's quite tanky. And with a rock, perhaps, they get rid of Jabba. Now they go for the real targets. Mikoto might be down, but can Mickey and Zai be strong enough, apparently, to route Jabs? That's good. Mickey, carry flight, going for the Warlock instead. Easier kill. Now for the Spectre has Silver Edge. Spectre needs to run away. She's broken, and she's going to die.
She has buyback.
23 Savage needs to buy back immediately, but Mickey just literally clicked the ground, chose the right targets, now found Mikoto. That's going to be a dieback to Snowball. He's being baited out. Come here, Little Tusk. Come here. We'll treat you to a nice drink. And he does.
Oh, no,
Blink
he's
into
dead.
the trees. He is dead. Another Silver Edge break for the Spectre. The Spectre is barely able to get away. And at least they stopped Mickey. Finally, Mickey has stopped attacking, but anything that comes close to him dies at this point. He has the Death Touch, the Eat a Creep. It doesn't matter. Everyone's running away from this turret of destruction.
You still have an Aegis. Oh
Mickey
my
just
god.
lifts his hands. He knows that they need to move right now. Nishan's joining in. He's doing an aggressive TP as well, and he continues. The turret moves. Someone stop Mickey, please.
I'm afraid nobody can, Alvaro. He's just too much of a beast at the moment. Aegis is timing out in 20 seconds. Can they actually time the Aegis and kill him as soon as the Aegis expires?
Range Rex will fall at this rate from Mickey. They're going for the melee as well. That's going to be Mega Creeps in the Aegis. Still in his possession, timed out because that's how tanky this man was.
Oh, this is just not looking good for Talon. They don't have the best heroes to defend Mega Creeps. No Cleave, no Battle Fury. Spectre's not that great at dealing with Mega Creeps. This is looking like they need more than a miracle to win this game.
Yes, they do. Can we get some technical problems now? Or is Talon just doomed? No pause major now. Everything's going smoothly. And smoothly is Liquid's win. As they take down the Ancient now. One last fight for the boys. Jabs initiated by Mickey. They've realized this man's invulnerable. He's immortal. He can hit anything. And he'll hit the Ancient to finish the game. The man's vibing. Liquid's winning. Talon lose the first game of the series.
Yeah, Talon has to figure out how to deal with this Liquid aggression, going for the super greedy draft, but it seems against Liquid, they found a way, the zoo meta, the zoo draft, they're able to pressure the map, take everything away from you, and also the fact that they had a really, really tough laning phase for the Night Stalker. I felt like that was one of the primary reasons that they were so far behind in the early game. The Night Stalker just couldn't contribute until around 15 minutes. That is not something you want happen,
They seem to have found themselves in this game, found their strategy. We talked about this, the early game had to be played really well, and they played it, you would argue, impeccably, honestly, the first 20 minutes at least.
Yeah, I was even saying when I was looking at the player cams, I was looking at the Liquid players, oh my god, they have the faces.
He did say, he literally just read their faces, and he goes, Avo, I think Liquid might just win this first game. And he was correct. Winter the Oracle.
Oh boy, what
do they do? Okay, you've been on this situation before, you've been in the team. What's the speech now to get back for game number 2?
They have to just forget everything and play a new game. They have to try to reset. Don't try to put yourself too down. Keep the morals high. Try to figure out a way to deal with this Liquid aggression.
Right.
And try to play better in the lanes. The laning phase has been one of the problems that Talon has been facing, even during the group stage, even during DPCs. I feel like that's a problem that has always been reoccurring for this team, and they have to try to find a way to put a band-aid on that. They have to figure out how to solve this problem against Liquid. If there's no lane, there is no game for Talon.
We'll see if they can figure out that problem, Winter. Is that what you would fix, concentrate on one mistake then, is what you're saying? Like one thing that they need to fix? That's going to be the laning stage, and then forget about everything else.
Yeah, they have to try to deal with the laning phase. You can't put everything on the players' minds. There's too many things that you have to think about, and if you put an extra one more thing or extra two more things, it might even make it too difficult for them to perform. For now, just focus on the lane, get past the laning phase, and then play the game.
Coach Winter has spoken. Will they be able to conquer in the laning phase, or will Liquid show us why they were top seed in Western Europe? We're going to find out. Before that, we do have a lovely panel to break down this game number 1.
Reports of Team Liquid's death has been greatly exaggerated, it seems. And I'll take responsibility. I've been pushing the propaganda, but it seems like today Team Liquid have made some valuable adjustments, Effie. I think they looked quite critically at their previous series, and they made the adjustments necessary against Talon.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they shifted Insania to position 4 and they had Jabs play position 5. That's what I wanted them to do yesterday. But after talking to the players personally, they told me that they thought it would be too much of a change yesterday, but today they're willing to try it. And I think putting Insania on these position 4 playmakers is what they need to do, because strategically, Zai's lane is like a center point of how Liquid have been approaching these games. So I think securing that lane and putting Jabs on some, like Abaddon, some Ricky, some Treant, some Undying, something on this archetype will definitely make it so they can feel like they're playing their strategies the same way. And I just love that they did the Zoo draft. I think the Zoo draft is how to play against Talon. You want to body their towers, you want to body their jungle, you want to make sure they get nothing out of the map, and you want to exploit them.
Yeah, the Zoo draft is really good, especially on Radiant. You're going to control the enemy jungle, the Roche area. You cannot invade the triangle, but the NP was sending units there. And it also goes with the point that she mentioned. You have Insania on 4, so they can win the offlane. They pressure the offlane, and they take this tower really early on.
Which gives them access to Roche, right?
Exactly.
I gotta shout out Jabs in that game.
Please. Which
or,
one?
sorry, Jabba.
Jabba.
He's going by Jabba now to help with the confusion. He played really well on Ricky. I remember we saw a death where like him and Insania went down on the top lane, and then Talon kind of overcommitted to a mid fight, and then Jabba bought back and set up like 2 kills in that fight. And I was just thinking like, that's a like tier 1 buyback. That's a really good buyback. That's a thing that you can't underestimate, is that, okay, sure, he's an analyst and a coach and, 8 or 9K MMR players standing in, but he's standing in with 4 world-class players. He's a world-class coach himself. You can upgrade pretty quickly with only a couple of days of practice, especially if you're on the right archetype of hero, right? Because it's not like we're saying, oh, he's a bad player, give him like these easy heroes. Plenty of 5s play Treant Undying every single game, right? This is a perfectly normal thing to have in the game, where he can basically be a coach within the game, right? He can tell his team what to do. He can focus on the comms that are going on and stuff like that. So it seems like the adjustment that they made worked. It definitely worked.
The thing is, I think that Liquid have kind of found the key to securing their side lanes, right? We talked about Insania playing position 4, but I think if they can get this Nature's Prophet with some like beefy melee hero for the safe lane every time, that looks really solid, because
Agreed.
Prophet is a lane winning hero in and of itself, right? He just needs something to back it up. So I think what Talon are going to do here is they're going to adjust to try to win the lane against Prophet if they give it away. I loved what they did yesterday versus Shopify, picking up that Primal Beast for jabs, Talon's jabs. You know what? For the sake of clarity, I'm going to say Jabba versus jabs. Okay,
perfect.
So for this, so jabs, when he picked up Primal Beast, the game looked entirely different than the game 2 where he played that Dawnbreaker. It didn't look that good, and I would say Night Stalker kind of fits in the same way. You want Night Stalker's game to kind of go a certain way, right? You want to farm, you want to maybe get some rotations with Darkness, but you don't want the team to run at your team early, because you need items to be effective. Dawnbreaker is pretty similar in that her gameplay becomes one-dimensional if her team is getting run over. So I think you put jabs on this playmaker, you give him this Primal Beast, let him counter this Furion, and the game's going to look different for Talon.
I feel like Talon did such a huge draft mistake again. We saw the Dawnbreaker losing lane, now we see Night Stalker losing lane against. You see Azul, so playing against Azul, you pick Night Stalker, you're gonna lose your lane, it's fast tempo. Night Stalker against fast tempo is really bad. Warlock is really bad. Spectre is really bad. They picked 3 heroes that are terrible against fast tempo, and Liquid just doubled down this fast tempo. They need to be able to counter it either by being aggressive on lanes with the Primal, or having a hero that at least protect areas such as a Kanka, Zeus, Koro, DK type of hero that's a beefy. They had 2 support 4s that were ranged. You guys were talking about that they always play Tiny Tusk, and now...
Yeah. Talon looks different without Q on a hero that can run around and do stuff in the early game. Like, it just felt like there weren't moves coming out of them, and it resulted in a Zoo draft not only having a, strong showing when they came out of the laning stage, but like they won all the lanes on Liquid, right? So maybe that's a result of not having the 4 position that they're used to having roam around. And then also throw jabs on a carry as well. I feel like this Talon draft, it was off from what we've normally seen, but that also could be on account of Liquid just figuring out that Talon looks bad whenever jabs gets completely shut down.
I also feel like maybe Talon's draft isn't too bad if you kind of zoom it out and not look at Liquid's draft, but Liquid had the right approach to playing against something like this. Because you look at Talon's heroes, you see the Spectre, you see the Snapfire, you see this Warlock. Like, these heroes are pretty good at defending their own triangle, right? If their Spectre just wanted to chill and farm there, I can see how they could have turned a fight or 2. If Night Stalker just presses Darkness, they get the Fatal Bonds off, they get a good Golem, things could have changed, but Liquid did not give them that. They did not play into their triangle in any way. They just focused their priority on the main jungle, on kicking them out of lanes, of chasing them away.
This goes super back to the draft when I mentioned the Liquid can win with Radiant. And I feel if Talon was Radiant, they could win with this draft, because you protect your try, and Liquid needs to invade it in order to get access to Roche. But if you're Dire, you just ignore them. They just ignored the triangle and kept with the big jungle. They have a free Roche because they have control of the full area.
And we've talked about how, like, in this patch, or at least in this major, people don't seem to be valuing the first Roche that much. So you'd think, like, oh, Radiant protecting their triangle, taking over the enemy jungle, like getting that Roche, doesn't matter so much. It's one Aegis, right? People want that Aghanim Shard. With the Zoo draft, that's different, right? It's like you constrict the map so much with all of the summons. It feels so oppressive. It's impossible to play anywhere. And you have a bunch of heroes that need to farm and need to go into the late game. So the first Roche does matter, when there's this like huge committal to the zoo meta. Maybe if it's just a Furion, not so much. Whatever. You give them the Aegis, they're not going to control that much of the map. But Lycan plus Nature's Bluff plus the Ricky running around sleep darting you, like you don't want to lose the map early against this lineup.
Yeah, I think Talon, if they want to make an adjustment for next game, they should start looking at this Rubik too, how they want to handle it, if they're going to steal it for themselves or eliminate it, because I feel that this Rubik gives Liquid a lot of potential to play the draft the way they want to. Yeah, they shifted Insania to 4 this time, but it's also a hero that Jobs plays if they kind of feel that they have to put Insania on some Oracle or something wild like that, right? If the draft develops in such a way. So I think that Talon can make it easier for themselves because Liquid are still playing with a stand-in and there are going to be holes in their draft that they can exploit.
I'm with you, though, that Talon does look different, because even though Jabs lost his lane, the off-lane Night Stalker Jabs lost his lane. It wasn't because Liquid specifically engineered that. It was a final pick Night Stalker, and he knew the lane that he was going into. And I assume that the main idea behind the Night Stalker is, what, I'm just going to eat the Overlord creep?
He didn't even get an Overlord.
He didn't even get an Overlord.
I thought that was a great little itemization thing from Zai, where he went for the Vlads plus the Dom just for the early game, and then the Vlads to buff up his team. But then he started going for like AC, drums, BKB. That's cool. I've never seen that before.
Is Insania signing a boot?
Dude, he's feeling himself right now.
Is that a shoe?
I think it's a cast.
Oh, it's a cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Somebody
a sock.
broke their foot kicking their computer when
cast.
Liquid lost the game in Gladiators.
But yeah, jokes aside, I'm just glad that Liquid got this win. I feel that Java might have felt very bad after yesterday, but he looks happy. There were hugs all around. I mean, this is kind of the confidence boost that they needed, that, hey, we're still really good. We can play with this, and we can make this work. So I'm just happy to see the smiles on their face today.
Yeah, even if they do end up losing the series, I think like it has to haunt you if you don't get a single win on main stage. You get double 2-0'd back-to-back, and then you go back to just normal life. But he's getting a taste. He got the victory, and it was a well-deserved victory. And putting him on a Ricky, putting him on non-skill shot heroes, I feel like that Mirana was like a high-stress game that he played last time.
That's a tough one, yeah. I think what probably feels good for him is that he had a good game, too. Like, that was a solid Ricky performance.
Absolutely.
He was setting things up. He was doing his job. He did exactly what he needed to do. So that's got to feel good. It's not just, I got carried this game. Thank God I didn't lose. It's like he had great impact.
Yeah. And on the flip side, I feel that Talon now, they kind of need Sunby to knock some sense into them. Because this is where he comes in as a coach and gets them to calm down and like reevaluate the draft and their approach to the game. Because he did mention in his interview yesterday, after Talon beat Shopify, that he thinks that an issue with a lot of C teams is that they can underestimate their opponents and get complacent. And he said that he was a little bit worried that Talon might get complacent.
Said he's going to yell at them.
Yeah, because of Jabba standing in. So I think now is the time to kind of snap them back into it and let them respect Liquid like as the world-class team that they are.
Also, Talon just might kind of legit be tired. They have been having a hell of a run in this tournament throughout the lower bracket. Yesterday, they had to play 2 series, show up bright and early for this one, and then if they manage to win this series, then they have a best of 5 to do after that. And I think during Sunby's interview, he definitely looked a little spent.
He did. He sounded very, very spent.
It's all right.
He earned the victory.
They're Dota players. They're used to this.
This is just chain queuing, basically.
These guys don't sleep. Yeah, this is absolutely chain queuing. These are MMR fiends.
Yeah. But the thing about Talon is that as we watch them in this tournament, I feel like they've adjusted their drafts pretty quickly. Like, they have tried this Naga offlane on the main stage. They have tried this Dawnbreaker on the main stage.
They tried it against Liquid, actually.
Yeah, they've tried things that maybe on paper look like a bad idea, but they thought that they could pull it off, right? But when it didn't work out for them, they were not stubborn about those ideas. They are very quick to drop something if it doesn't work. So I think that they're not going to brute force these ultra slow lineups versus Liquid.
Yeah, drop the Warlock, please. You're inviting Zoo, you're inviting heroes that play fast. Even an Alchemist would be a free win against our Warlock. Such a slow hero. If you fast tempo against him, the game gets unplayable.
I mean, last night, you were telling me the hero that you wanted to not see in Talon's hands was the Elder Titan. And Elder Titan against this draft must have been way better in that situation.
Would have been good. It's way better against Zoo. So please don't invite the Zoo when the only counter to your lineup is a Zoo.
I know the counter.
Tell me.
It's a Winter Wyvern game.
An uncontested
we
hero?
are going to see Winter Wyvern for the first time in this major next game.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't been keeping up, there are still 12 uncontested heroes, which means no picks or no bans throughout this entire event. Axe, Juggernaut, Sand King, Witch Doctor, Necrophos Dazzle, Clinks, Meepo, Ogre, Medusa, Grimstroke, and Winter Wyvern. She hasn't shown up yet.
A Sand King last pick would have been better than the Night Stalker, 100% sure. But
That
a Timber,
would have been good. That
a
would have been
Timber
good.
pick could have won then the game.
Yeah,
cannot-
either of those. Anti-summons, something that's anti-summons.
Yeah, you CMP is carry, and then you pick a losing lane against him. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Unless they thought they could greed it out and they didn't think that Jabba would be such a beast on this Ricky.
I mean, Primal Beast, I feel like, is the number one.
True.
Was that
Banned.
taken out? It was banned. Okay.
That's-
That would be the number one if it wasn't
Yeah, Liquid
banned
took it
down
out second phase.
in the second phase. Yeah.
I believe when you CMP first pick, you counter him on the 2 side lanes. So you go Primal Beast already on the first part of the draft, and then you go the Spectre, or go some sort of TB.
Yeah.
They're replacements, either in carry or off lane role.
Yeah, but
you need to counter both.
The PB is not going to make it through second phase, so you have to first phase. And they picked the Snapfire first phase, and it didn't look very good. It didn't look
Yeah.
worth first phasing compared to like the PB.
Yeah, it may have also been a denial pick, because I know there's like a relationship that Liquid liked between Snapfire and Undying. Undying ended up not showing up in this game, but there's a lot of meta gaming going on in this draft. And let's, with the Jonan jacket, quick question, Effie. What, you think he's more of a Kakashi, or am I always mispronounce
There's
it?
no way he's Kakashi
Is he a
Sensei.
Shikamaru?
No.
What, so he's just a poser then?
No,
I'm
because
so sick of this
Shikamaru
Naruto
Shikamaru sleeps
BS.
all the time. Will is pretty alert.
But he's a master strategist, though.
Okay, who?
I think Jabba is the Rock Lee
No,
of Dota.
he is. I'll tell you, he is a Jiraiya.
Okay.
Like he brings energy. He makes people have fun. He takes them out and about. He puts them through training journeys. But he can also just do like the older brother father figure type of role. I feel like he's Jiraiya Sensei, but he's not Kakashi. Kakashi's a bit too mysterious. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, Insania would be very happy to hear that because he's been having Jiraiya as his profile picture. Love dropping obscure anime references on a Dota major. You want the Dota, I'll give it to you. It's time for game number 2.
Welcome one and all to game number 2 here in the Lima Major, the lower bracket final between Team Liquid and Talon Esports. Team Liquid 1 game up despite having the stand-in, and right now Talon Esports searching for answers. The game 2 draft is already underway, and we need to see some major adjustments coming in from them. Crucially, we need to see Q on a hero that allows them to do stuff on the map here. But more importantly, they need an answer for Nature's Prophet. Completely undefeated by Team Liquid, 100% win rate across 6 games at the Major. Ari, what's the response here in the event that they do give away the Prophet again?
Well, initially I would expect it to be banned out, but if they do take the Prophet, then I really hope to see Q on the Tusk or the Tiny. We really need to roam and like shut him down early, stop him snowballing like last game. He was just too fat, too strong, and Talon couldn't deal with him.
Yep, I'm hoping for the same here because they have not lost with Nature's Prophet on the side of Liquid, but Talon have not won unless they have Tusk or Tiny for Q at the main event so far. So we're going to be hoping that they do manage to find a way to slot that hero into the draft. The Game 2 draft, as is mentioned, is underway. I do want to also see them maybe try and angle for this Treant Protector because they've looked pretty decent when they do have it. Well, they get the Treant Protector. They do not get the Tiny. It's banned. Tusk is most likely going to be banned in the next game. But Fia, what do you make of this respect being shown towards Jabs? They leave Nature's Prophet and they say, you know what, Ricky was the problem that game.
I mean, I think this is a really cool approach to dealing with this game because Ricky's not the highest execution hero in the game, right? You're kind of just chilling, you're throwing darts out, coming in as a stand-in. That might be a very easy position where you can succeed in. So I think them respect banning that is going to force them into a different situation as well where they might be able to get a bit of an edge against the stand-in. They're really just targeting Jabs here.
Yeah, we see this Primal Beast as a response to the Prophet. It's really good at ganking him in the early game. There's a slight problem when he gets Sprout and you can leash at level 20, but until then, the Primal Beast is really strong from the mid lane at ganking the Prophet.
There's still potential for them to play this from the off lane as well, right? Jabs can play this hero. We've seen them also, if they are playing melee strength 4s for Q, what's left? If you're not playing Tiny, you're not playing Earthshaker, you're not playing Tusk, there's a non-zero chance that you end up playing Primal Beast instead under these conditions. So it could happen. We'll see what happens as the draft unfolds. As Puck Lina get removed as well. More respect being shown towards the mid lane as well here, Ari. They're like, the game was a little bit too fast for us. Let's try and slow it down.
Yeah, and also back to the Primal Beast, we can see in some games Whisper started playing a Vanguard Primal Beast, which is really good against the Prophet. Yeah. We saw Jabs do it in the last series as well. So this could be like a lane counter or a mid ganking counter. It's like really good in both ways. And the Clockwork is really good in lane against the Treant. It's like hard for the Treant to harass him because he's really scared of being battery assaulted to death. And he's also good at cancelling the Primal Beast spells. So, yeah, both sides have responded really well to each other here.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Q will not be getting Tiny, will not be getting Tusk this game, as they're both now banned here. And that's what's kind of afraid about in the last series there when they put him onto the Snapfire. I was praising, oh, he got his Tusk in the first phase. They're really happy. They chose to do an audible there and throw a Tusk in the mid lane. And now it feels like they're playing a different type of game, where they have to make their mid make rotations instead of Q. But they've just looked so damn good on Q being the one making the rotations. There's not a lot of heroes left that I feel like are really good as like that POS 4 that can roam. I mean, we saw Crit play Earth Spirit, it looked really great. Not entirely sure if Q plays that hero. Shaker hasn't looked great. I'm not sure. Ari, are there any other POS 4s that are good at roaming and making plays happen in this
personally,
meta?
I love Primal Beast POS 4.
All right.
I don't know if he plays it, but it's a possibility. Yeah, Earthshaker, Earth Spirit, they're not that strong, but they're the only ones left that I can think of.
It's either that or they just need to adapt, right? And then he needs to play these ranged POS 4s, and they need to somehow find a way to make it work.
We're going to also be seeing, in the last game, that Snapfire was his first one at the tournament in its entirety, so I'm not entirely sure this is the place to necessarily be pulling out heroes you haven't played in a while, but right. A lot of teams have done magic in the pretty much clutch situations, and he has played Primal Beast before once. One professional game on Primal Beast 5 months ago. So in the event that he drags it out here, it would be the biggest show of strength coming in from the side of Talon Esports.
There is one melee 4 that some teams were doing a while ago. I've not seen it this tournament, but previously Sven POS 4 was quite popular against physical damage lineups. Prophet could be the start of that. If they see like a bit more, maybe they take a Sven here on POS 4.
Actually, how about this here, right? We put Sven POS 5, and then we play the Treant Protector as the POS 4, right? That way we have one side of the map give you sustain out of the Treant Protector. You have BKB piercing disable. The other side of the map guarantees some additional armor so that Nature's Prophet is a little bit weaker early on. And then maybe this Primal Beast picks up the Vanguard we're talking about, mitigating a lot of the damage coming out of this Nature's Prophet in the early game.
I mean, it can work, but I don't want to see Talon do that. I want to see them be aggressive. Like, roaming Tree is not aggressive. Like, he's going to be very passive. He wants to play in the lane a lot. I want to see Q doing what he does best, setting up kills, making the mid lane feel threatened for their life. All the heroes we talked about, he has played this Shaker. And he has also played Mirana, which is very good with the Primal Beast as well. So I think those are the two heroes that Talon are most likely going to pick here. But if he does play that Mirana style, I do want to see the Primal mid most likely. That way he can play around his mid laner a lot. I know Jabs does like to play this Primal as well. In the game they won, he did go exactly that Vanguard build into Mana Boots, into like BKB Refresher. He was really far in that game. But either way, Mirana is if they play the Primal mid, Shaker, then I think just give Jabs it, and then you just roam on the Shaker, get that Vanguard, let him self-sustain.
So let's see, Storm Spirit gets taken out, Ember Spirit, the response from Talon. They have to lead the charge here in the second phase of picks. Several options. For Jabs, they're still a little bit open. I would also like to see them get a hero from Makoto as early as humanly possible. They pick up the Rubik for now. Alright. So that's going to be our support duo. We saw this quite a lot throughout the group stage already, the Rubik Treant support duo. It was either like Rubik Tree or Rubik Undying. They were really strong for the most part.
Yeah, generally speaking, these two supports are considered like S-tier supports. but it does mean we're not having a melee support on Q, and we're also very static on the tree. So maybe the Primal Beast doesn't have that much to play with, not much damage to work with. It's like a little unconventional for this team.
And I think the Rubik here is one of the Q's least successful heroes this tournament. He's at a 25% win rate with it, so it's not exactly like the style we want to see them go for. It is an okay Rubik game in a lot of ways. I guess you can toss people out of the cogs. It will give Jabs a stronger laning stage with whatever he plays because Rubik is such a strong laner, but it's not really going with the archetype of what Talon's been winning with. They're doing something different.
So far, there's not really any good spells to steal. That's like a bit weird with Nature's Call and Teleport is quite nice, but it's not no damage, no lockdown or anything like that. But the save from the extra cast range on 4-staff and the shard is really nice against these heroes. So that's one thing they have going for them.
Yeah. Team Liquid now can look at this response, decide what to do. This is when things get interesting for them, deciding how to protect Nature's Prophet or if it's going to be played in the off lane. Because we did see in the group stage, a lot of times is Nature's Prophet getting exploited by these exact two heroes in the laning phase. The Primal Beast Rubik making a lot of difficulty for the safe lane hero. So we'll see. I think right now you just pick up the Nisha hero and decide later. And indeed, they go for this Pangolier in the mid lane. Pango feels good, you know, give them some team fight, give them some movement off the map. And Nisha has just been a beast on this hero. But to be fair, he's been a beast on everything.
Yeah, I just kind of want to mention real quick about Liquid. I think last game, something that we didn't talk about too much yet is the fact that Insania played position 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Jabs played position 5. Insania hasn't busted this Disruptor out even once this tournament. So I'm thinking Jabs is just switching to 5 now, and this Disruptor might be a comfort pick of his that they're just busting out here, and then Insania might pick up the clockwork and play position 4 this game.
Okay. I'm hoping that would be pretty interesting to actually have happen here. I don't think I've seen much Insania clock, but it is clockwork. You should know how to play this hero as a support player.
Yeah, we see the TA come out, which is it's one of Talon's favorites. Not many teams are doing this, especially from the mid lane, but Talon really like it. It fits their style a lot. They want to farm a lot on their 3 cores. If they can hold the game of this TA from mid or safe lane, which like they play it on both, then they might win this game if it goes late.
Obviously, Talon, one of the teams that plays for the late game. We heard from 23 Savage in the one interview that in C Dota, you just play late. Everybody just keeps farming. So Mikoto, this is likely going to be his hero. But one thing I like about TA mid is that, yes, it does farm, but it's a hero that likes to move around as well. It doesn't just stay static in the mid lane forever. What's the likelihood here of them stealing some strats here from Team Liquid and running like some dual range cores in the mid and the safe lane?
It could be quite high. It really depends on what Liquid will play here. Talon, they have secured the last pick of this game here. I think we have seen before in a game where they like this matchup. The TA against the Pango, it was actually against eHome, they ran this exact matchup. And then 24 ended up picking the last pick Monkey King. So whatever they do here, I think they're in a position where this TA, it could go safe lane against the NP. I've seen that be okay in some games, but they are totally fine putting it versus the Pango. But they're going to see where this NP goes. That's the important part. If it's going to be a carry or an offlaner, and I think one thing 23 is just really going to focus on for this last pick is just winning his lane. Yeah. Right? And that way they have the double carry, winning lanes into like an easy transition into the mid game.
I think it's quite likely they put the TA mid here. They can have like a Vanguard, Arcane Boost, Primal Beast independent in the off lane against Furion, and then they play around mid and make stacks in triangle, secure the TA's farm, and I think this will be their game plan for this game. They defend safe lane tower of Trian, they make stacks in triangle, they protect the TA, and Primal Beast is self-sufficient.
And then we can kind of look at 23's hero pool that can play around the TA. Will be maybe the Monkey King, maybe we've seen him play Doom a lot in the past. There is, depending what they pick here, he's played heroes like Bristleback, but are a lot less greedy. So he's going to see his matchup, basically. And that will determine a lot on what he wants to play here. For Liquid, though, they do get to decide what they want to do about this Primal Beast. Is it okay to put up an NP versus it, or do they want to try and punish this Primal Beast with another carry pick?
Talon seems to feel that they're looking for an offlane hero for Zai here. If that is the case, Ori, what's missing in their lineup? Well, never mind, it's not going to be an offlaner. It's going to be an offlane Nature's Prophet. Safe lane Morphling going to be rounding out the draft here for Team Liquid. Alrighty, so for Talon, if you're 23 Savage right now, you have the 24 pick in the draft, you've seen the lay of the land, you know what your lane looks like, you know what your carry-to-carry matchup looks like, who do you want to end the draft with?
That's a great question.
If they're feeling very greedy, there could be something like a Terrorblade. I know Talon do quite like to run these double, really farmy cores.
Is there Ursa in the game?
There is.
There is an Ursa.
I would want to be Ursa, I think, this game, if I'm 23. Monkey King's okay as well. I think the Doom carry could work versus Morphling.
There may even be a slight possibility that Liquid run a safe lane Pango and have Nisha on Morphling mid. Given that Mickey used to play mid a lot, and I'm sure he plays a really good Pango, and Nisha also loves the Morphling, they could like swap these lanes up to be anything really.
There's also a non-zero chance that the Pango goes off lane, the Morphling goes mid, and then the Nature's Prophet's still a safe lane.
Yeah, the options are very open.
Yeah. I don't think they'll want to do the Morph versus the TA mid, though, if that is what they choose. But if they pick some other weaker mid that can be exploited,
There's the
then maybe...
Terrorblade.
There's the Terrorblade. They're going all in for the late game here.
Alright, this is Talon style. They might not necessarily be picking the right things for Q all the time, but the one thing they will always do is give themselves an opportunity to farm for the late game. Alright, carry player, talk to me about this. You're Terrorblade in this game. Do you feel confident being able to carry Talon Esports to victory and force a game number 3?
Absolutely. You have a pretty easy lane against the Nature's Prophet. The Pango, when he's rolling around, might be a little bit annoying with the disarm and stun, but you are a ranged hero. You're going to buy Scotty versus the Morphling, and then you have Makoto. I think Talon have... Being greedy is all about like being able to make it to that late game timing, and I think their laning stage does allow them to do that.
Yeah, Talon's lanes look really strong in this game, so I think they'll be able to at least get half the way to the kind of stage of the game that they want. Then they need to make a couple of good moves or survive some good moves that Liquid are making, and then they'll be there.
Let's talk about Team Liquid though, because they have instead put jabs on the Clockwork, and Insania's playing the Disruptor here, Zai's in the offlane Nature's Prophet. Okay. Ari, what do you make of this draw from Liquid? What do they need to do to ensure that they win Game 2 and get themselves into the Grand Finals?
Same story as Game 1. They need to hit a timing, and they need to run a Talon really quickly, really hard, not give them any space on the map. If TA and TB are farming freely, then there's no way that Liquid wins, so they have to stop this quickly. Maybe around 15 minutes, they're going to hit timing with Greaves, Morphling first item, and just start running at the enemy with Prophet Global.
Well, we're going to be seeing whether or not Team Liquid has what it takes to play yet again in an extremely fast pace, put Team Talon on the back foot and force a game number 2 victory, or if it's going to be Talon Esports to go to game number 3 and maybe make their own way into the Grand Finals. To find out, we have Alvo Plus, we have Winter, and we've got an amazing game of Dota 2, so gentlemen, take it away.
Game 2 is upon us, and Team Liquid, they went for a little bit more late game, so Talon responded with even more late game this time. Isn't that right, Winter?
Yeah, bring on the late game. Talon says, you wanna play a 70-minute game? I'm gonna play an 80-minute game.
And that has been the specialty of this team for a while. We've already hyped up how great their late game is, but the question is, can they get to it? We already saw last game, Liquid are really good at playing that early. Is this time maybe a little bit easier for Talon? Is Liquid's early as dominant?
It's hard. They're playing against an MP early game. They have to try to survive the early game, but I do agree, this time they have better heroes. The Primal Beast is much more stable for the early game compared to a Night Stalker, and he should be able to do a lot more compared to what he had done in the last game where he just got dumpstered, in the early game. So I have high hopes for Talon this game, much better hopes.
Okay. Tell me about the strengths of their lineup then, if you were to consider it, besides that great late game. What else? What do they have? Do they check? What boxes do they check? What boxes are they not checking for you?
They're checking the Roshan box for sure.
Great.
They're checking the team fight box with the Treant Protector plus Primal. I think those two are going to be very, very deadly in the team fights. But on the other hand, they are going to be up against a Pango roll, a Disruptor, Static Storm. Those are going to be pretty annoying for their heroes until they get BKBs. So I would say that the BKB timings of this game are going to be, as usual, crucial for Talon. They have always this kind of lineups where they are trying to outscale you, they are trying to outfight you, they're not planning to get any mech, any pipe, they don't fucking care about those items, they just want their BKBs.
Let's look at the Liquid checklist then. But this was a Winter checklist with Liquid here.
Do they need I guess it's probably going to be the same. They're going to be aiming to get BKBs on MP and Morphling. They're going to be trying to outscale as well, but with a timing. You can never outscale a Terrorblade with this kind of heroes. Like Terrorblade just wins the ultra late game. You have to try to finish the game 40-50 minutes. Faster is even better if you can do that.
Even with the ads on Morphling, you don't think there's any scaling chances for Morphling these days?
I mean, that's true. But I still favor the Terrorblade later, Like Morphling, you're trying to end a game in a very specific timing with this kind of lineup with MP. You don't want to make the game too late, because Terrorblade is just going to eventually out-carry everybody, so we shall see, how the laning phase goes, how are the rotations going to be. And Liquid does have some advantage in terms of the early rotations, because you have a mid Pango, and Talon has a mid TA, he's going to want to farm, So you're going to be able to put a lot more pressure with the Pango for sure.
How's this matchup in general in the laning stages? Do you expect anyone to come out ahead?
Should be fine for either hero.
Oh, top lane actually. They got poor Savage is already dead to a Disruptor and NP.
Yeah, I've been seeing all these disruptors with level 1 glimpse. In the series yesterday was Entity. Fishman showed how the level 1 glimpse could have been so impactful. Like after taking the runes, he's just glimpsing the enemy support away. But here, as you can see, like Glimpse is just able to secure them the kill on the Terrorblade. Oh wow.
Counter attack for Insania. But he's gonna survive this.
I mean, if he came out 1 second earlier, he might have gotten Glimpse back. But it's okay, you know, he was able to come out fine with that. But the Glimpse is just much more efficient in the lane. So far for 70 mana, the spell is just way better than the Thunder Strike at level 1.
Yeah, gives you damage, and now you have 2 damaging spells with Thunder Strike and Glimpse, which is what allows his harassment to be so powerful.
Yeah.
Fishman already demonstrated this.
I'm a bit surprised he actually went for Thunder Strike at level 2, because they have 2 range heroes. So I feel like maybe Kinetic Field is going to be better in the laning phase, so both of you can get more right clicks on. But we'll see, you know. Like Thunder Strike is just a spell that, in my opinion, costs a lot of mana in the laning phase. You're going to have to buy maybe extra mangles to support the mana cost. So we'll see what he does here in the laning phase. But so far so good for Liquid. And on the bot lane, Morphling seems to be doing okay as well against Primal Beast. Cloudwork's going to be able to secure the pull in the next wave if he wishes to. So everything is Gucci for the Morphling as well.
Yeah, Primal Beast though, talk about Gucci, does try to deal as much damage as possible with Morphling, while Active Shift is still level 1, but he doesn't have Active Strike because he's level 2, and that pushes Primal Beast away. This is going to be the lane for the most part, right? Go on Morphling, Morphling pushes you, and hopefully you don't die.
I do not expect him to die that much in his lane or at all. Like Rubik plus Primal, I don't feel like you should be too worried as Morphling. Once you get past the first couple of levels, the lane's going to be very, very stable for you. You should be able to just safely last hits. The key thing to note is going to be the rotations. The Pango is going to play a very, very key factor in this game. You know, he's going to be able to make a lot of rotations if he secures the rune. So I want to see how Liquid is going to help him secure the runes with the supports.
See that how that happens. What is the will they still be able to form, and Jazz will still have the impactful early game we saw against Shopify, for example, where he takes over?
Yep. There's a chance, you know. Once you get level 6, we saw how Arbet he was able to get solo kills on the Morphling. If the Morphling's not careful and you get a little too cocky, you farm a little too front, and you just die to the stun into the pulverized combo when he's level 6. So I mean that can happen, you know, once Jebs has his ultimate up. But before that, I feel like Morphling should be fairly safe in his lane.
Who's his ganking partner though once he hits a level 6? Who does he smoke with? Is it the Rubik that he plays with? Because the rest of the team seems kind of passive.
The Rubik, Trian, and the Primal are going to be the 3-man gang squad in most cases. The TA and TB, they are going to be mostly rising, trying to get their important items, but...
So top lane, they're going to try. That was very close. 1 hit away from getting that kill.
Yep, very, very nicely done by Zai getting the TP out there, forcing the meta to be popped, and he's going to be coming back. And TB's going to have to try to maybe pull the wave back after this once his meta runs out.
Oh, he's going for Insania though now. But Insania, is he fast enough? He has a Fairy Fire, still has the Glimpse as well. He could punish Ollie perhaps. They have vision of him. Glimpse is level 2. Pushing back Ollie. Thunder Strike on him for a little bit more slow. Ollie low in armor, needs to get into the trees. He's being hit by Nature's Prophet though. He can destroy your trees. And if the auto attacks are going to be sufficient, poor Ollie is dead. And now Savage is defenseless. He has no teammates actually being body blocked by those Treants. But luckily he finds a way out. Does not get squared in.
Yeah, Disruptor is just showing why this hero is very, very strong right now on a position 4. Like you are very strong in the lane, not like before. You have a lot of kill potential because the Glimpse does a lot of damage now in the lane. And it's just very annoying, you know, if you overcommit as the opposing support, you're just going to get caught by the Glimpse and die in the lane. And Ollie has to be very, very careful. He can't let this MP get too fat from the laning phase. Otherwise the game is just going to be run out of control like the first game, you know. If the MP just... you allow him to dictate the play, he's going to take all our towers, you're going to have a hard time.
To look at the bright side for Talon though, we do have a TA that's quite farmed in that mid lane. She's doing well, Primal Beast as well. And it's not like TB has been stopped too much in terms of last hit, so this 1k difference comes just from good laning on Talon.
Yep. And so far, they're going to have to try to maintain the farm as much as they can and control the runes. You know, I think the runes are going to play a very, very crucial role in the rotations that the Pango wants to make. If the Pango can't make rotations because he can't take the rune, that will allow the TN Terrorblade to farm a lot more in the game. So we'll see. 10 minutes to the next rune.
We do 10 seconds. You mean yes?
10 seconds.
We do see that the support's already coming in for that 15-minute rune. Let's see if they can find it here. And it's going to be Mikoto seemingly grabbing the bottom rune. That's going to be Illusion. Luckily, not the best rune at all, so it doesn't enable your rotation too much.
Yeah, it's not the best rune for TA, but it stops the Pango from getting a rune, because the rune is going to be much more useful on the Pango, so that's going to be much more important for them. And so right now, state of the game wise, the Morphling is still farming. If you're Liquid, you're happy, you know, MP is still continue farming. He's going to get his level 6 in a bit, and that's going to try to speed things up for Liquid. But so far so good, you know, for Liquid. Disruptor is still trying to hang around, you know, try to set up a kill on the Terrorblade. So we'll see if they find any opportunities to do that, you know, unless Nisha makes a rotation, but he doesn't have mana now because he didn't get the root.
Oh, and in fact, it's going to be the TP who goes onto Zai. Once again, that TP, and the same thing they did earlier. Force the meta, TP back, and then go back to the tower.
Yeah.
And you're full HP again, and you annoy the TP who desperately needs meta to lane.
Yeah, and Jabba is rotating to mid to refill the bottle. That's actually really, really important for Liquid. And right now he has a full bottle, so he'll have some opportunities to rotate if he sees a good one. I feel like he should try to maybe look for opportunity to kill the TB soon. Like the Terrorblade is trying to push the wave out, and he's going to be jungling. If the Pango can actually find the Terrorblade in the jungle and get a kill, that would be really nice for Liquid. And as of right now, because Talon is being more greedy with the TA plus Terrorblade lineup, they are trying to just stack up camps, farm. So if you're Liquid, you have to try to punish this. They see this, the Cloud was trying to steal some XP, but nothing more he can do to stop the farm from happening.
Yeah, Mikoto gets the stacks. He's currently leading net worth. Mikoto has been a pivotal part of this team during this whole tournament, so him getting a strong lead is always scary, regardless of what hero he's playing on.
Yep, Nisha is trying to make a rotation, but there's an observer wall on the high ground, so Talon are fully aware of what's happening here. They have to try to maybe use TP scrolls to rotate or try to smoke around the map. If the game is static right now, it's not good for Liquid, you know. If nothing's happening, everybody's farming, you're happy if you're Talon.
Exactly, Talon of the Kings of the late game, of course. As in the top lane, Nature's Grasp, they're going for Zai, this time no meta though. And Zai knows he doesn't have to TP just yet. Bottom is just probably harassing the Morphling. It looked scary because the heroes were together, that's not going to happen.
MP is coming, Zai is here,
okay.
Yes, the summons.
Q, you want to get vision him, Rocket Flare will guarantee that. Thunderstrike as well. Q, you're not going home alive, mate. Or maybe it's going to be Disruptor instead. Turning this around, they do have the Rolling Thunder. Q, healed by the Lychee, will barely live. Q's out.
Wow.
Wow.
How does that man get out of there?
I don't know. And now they're going for the enemy jabs. Mikoto wants to kill the imposter, the spy. Goodbye, jabs.
Well done. I mean, somehow the TA's rotation there.
How does that work? How is the Rubik alive?
Yeah.
What level is that Leech?
The TA's rotation there is key. You know, he's able to kill the Rubik. Kill the Disruptor, and that allowed the Rubik to survive there. Just very, very huge plays by TA. When you have a greedy draft, sometimes you have to give back to your team. You know, you can't just greed all the way, and that's really, really important for Talon that they actually save the Rubik and just continue to farm at the moment.
Right. Now on the Terrorblade side, all his role is to just shove out lanes, as that's how his contribution is going to be.
Yeah.
He's going to show up, not going to show up to team fights early.
And TA has to be more of like the sacrificial hero, even though he has to farm a lot. He has to try to help his team as much as he can and try to allow the TB to get more of the farm, more of the map. And right now they're doing a really good job for that. You know, Liquid has to find a way to break this lock. You know, the game is in a state of a deadlock.
Q in the mid lane once again, but they've learned this Rubik is tankier than he seems. Yeah, Rocket Flare him all you want. His cape has so much armor. Bottom lane, they catch a Morphling.
Wow.
Another rotation from Mikoto.
That is actually, man, Mikoto is just winning the game for them at the moment. He's making all these rotations with TA with no blink, no dazzle, nothing, but he's just making the plays. This is just really, really, really good for Talon, you know. And mid lane, they're trying to get a trade-off here for Liquid, but the living armor and the glyph is just slowing things down a lot, you know. There are 4 heroes here, they're taking a long time to secure the tower, and meanwhile Terrorblade is pushing the top tower, Talon's getting the bottom tower. This is a much better trade for Talon.
The top tower doesn't get quite destroyed, but bottom for mid is going to end up being the trade here. As Liquid, at least they open up the map a little bit with this. This gives them more options here.
They have to try to invade the jungle. If this continues for another few minutes, this is not good for Liquid. You know? They have to try to stop the farm, the Ancients farming, the jungle farming. This Terrorblade is just getting away with way too much, you know.
And what's crazy is that despite the Terrorblade being perma-farming this whole game, hasn't really done much, it's Mikoto who's leading the net worth because of his rotations.
Ow.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
I guess he gets 3 kills.
He has 3 kills, that's why. And one of them is on the Morphling. He's going for Desolator first as well, which will also improve his farm. Do you think for a mid TA you still go for Desol Blink Dagger, or do you go for the carry TA build?
No, that's a good point. That was what I was expecting. You have to go Blink. You have to try to play around your team first, and allow the Terrorblade to farm. But because maybe he's looking at the game, he's feeling like, I've already done a couple of moves with my team. We stabilized the game. Maybe I can be a bit more greedy. Maybe I can play a bit more for myself. Because I've already given something back to my team. And Oli at the moment is just trying to be the dead laner, Like this Treant Protectors right now, why is the hero so popular? Because he's able to play the dead lane, he's able to delay the game a lot, living armor the towers, and it's very good when you're trying to have this like super greedy late game draft, It just allows your heroes to get to the stage where they can actually win the game.
Explain that for those at the back, what you mean with a dead laner, what the importance of a 5 being able to take the dead lane is.
He's taking the rubbish farm, the farm that nobody is taking.
Yes, he's the trash man.
He's the garbage collector, and then he's keeping the towers alive with the living armor. He's just very annoying. He forces your carries in a very bad position in the team fights because you don't want to pop BKB early. Then he just cancels your BKB with the overgrowth. So that's very annoying for the carries, and it allows his own carry to just scale better in the game with the living armor. So this hero is just very disgusting, in terms of what he does in the game.
Don't you think it's wild how much the tournament has been let out for Talon, who's a team that specializes at utilizing his style?
There's just way too many heroes that you want to ban in the initial phase, like the Tiny is one of them, and you have all this Lina, Nature's Prophet, the Brood Mother, so you have to pick your poison, and the Treant Protector is the poison that Liquid chooses to let go. And so far, Liquid has been... they're doing okay, I feel like they have to try to figure out how to break apart the deadlock that Talon has right now. The grip they have in this game is farming at least 50%. If you look at the map, they have been occupying at least 50% of the map. They've been ensuring that the Terrorblade has Ancients to farm. They're shuffling out all the side lanes. They're doing a really good job in that, and Liquid has to find an answer to this, They're building onto an Aghanim, so on the Nature's Prophet, perhaps that could be a key to the next fight that they are planning to take. But so far, very quiet on Nisha. I've been expecting the Pango to do a lot more. And bot lane.
Yep, there's going to be Q, who uses the Pango skill against him now. He got Insane, he has Glimpse, and Q will be the real Pangolier this game, Winter. He's doing a lot more.
Yeah, that is very worrisome if you're Liquid, and it might have something to do with maybe the runes. They're not securing the earlier runes, that's why the Pango doesn't see any opportunities to move. But so far, he has an Arcane Rune in his bottle. They're going to pop a smoke. Something has to happen for Liquid right now.
Sure, but Mickey up top, they see him perfectly. They're just harassing him out of lane. They have no intention of actually killing him. Perhaps Liquid could turn this around. Jabs. The Liquid jabs, mind you. It's already in position. Gets a hook shot. And that's going to work for now. Into Rolling Thunder as well. But where's the damage coming from?
Nice root.
Overgrowth just stops both. And it's now time Mikoto's turn to hit. But Mikoto got disintegrated by the Morphling. Ceases to exist. They seem to ignore the Primal Beast with a glimpse. And Talon, who thought they could take this, were proven wrong.
Yeah, the glimpse was very crucial there. Maybe if Primal Beast is still there in the fight, they might have been able to hold their ground, but no. Just really good plays there by Liquid.
I just want to point out the coordination of calculating exactly when Refraction will time out to waveform Wrath of Nature at the same time. I don't know if they were looking at the Wrath of Nature, listening to it in the map, but that was impressive.
Yeah, these guys are that good at Dota. I wouldn't be surprised if everything was calculated. So that's what Liquid needed, a successful rotation by Pango, and now he has another rune, Haste Rune. So he's going to be trying to play more aggressive with this Haste Rune, and that's going to be key for Liquid again to pressure the map.
This kill, big deal. They have a Desolator on Mikoto now, which you saw earlier in that fight.
Oh,
that was the 2 charges. Insania. No. Nisha setting up the Rolling Thunder. There's Spike Storm as well. Insania will die, and the glimpse doesn't work in Nisha's favor. Seems like Nisha is gonna retreat now. A couple more hits, but that's it. But Jabs just calculating the onslaught. He realizes it's a bit too dangerous. There is a haste on Nisha after all.
Yep. They have to wait for their spells again. Disruptor ulti expanded, roll expanded. Try to wait for those spells to come off cooldown again and try to make a play. If they can get a kill again, I feel like they could be in a position to take Roche. It's similar to the last game. They have Morphling, they have Nature's Prophet. They should be able to secure Roche if they get a big pick-off with the next move.
So you can see there actually, I didn't really notice it was out of mana, which is why the Refraction didn't even come out at all. But the timing of the waveform for Wrath of Nature, perfect.
Yep. And Talon Jabs has his BKB up right now, so that's a huge pickup for the Dire team at the moment. TA is going to have his Blink, so that's going to be huge as well. Blink plus Desolator timing. It seems like Talon is going to try to make something happen with this Blink plus BKB on Primal Beast.
We'll see Nisha. Okay, one glimpse to set Q apart, but they don't know how far he went actually. And they do have vision around this area, which is why Nisha was maybe in trouble. Gets the rune. As we were talking about, now Pango's starting to get those runes and they're starting to open up the map much more.
Yep. And right now, Aghanims is going to be arriving for Nature's Prophet. So I feel like both teams are kind of feeling that they have the upper hand right now with the last couple of items, and we shall see who gets the upper hand in the initiations.
Jabs wants to get Mickey. Okay, they do have to try to slow him as well. But Static Storm by counter initiating. And Jabs just activates the BKB. He wants to get at least one kill. He's going to have to settle for the support right now.
They're not killing the Morphing now.
Jabs kills Jabs. Brother on brother fight as the Rolling Thunder from Nisha sets up perhaps on Mikoto. Overgrowth as well to stop this fight. Stop Nisha for a second. Wrath of Nature is the same as Overgrowth, but global. That kills Mikoto. Now Q in trouble. He actually, Onslaught does not help, pushes him forward, and he's gonna die too. Poor Ollie stuck in the tree, starts to get away, but at least he's not enough healing. And his poor Jabs at 23 Savage left alone. They glimpse back DB. Now in the wrong position. No mana. He's dead. Jabs also out of mana. There's no Onslaught. The Fusel Blade is destroying this team. They can't use their spells. They can't hide in the trees. It's only a matter of time until the team wipe happens.
Talon thinks they're strong, but apparently not. Liquid is stronger. They lost all their cores. This is a really, really big blow for Talon. They have to realize, alright, time to go to farm, split the map. We are not going to be able to clash head on against Liquid. Right now, we have to try to take the game slow, you know. Go back to what they've been doing. Take everything slow, try to delay the game. Try to slow the game down.
Okay. How do they do that? What's the options to slow the game down? Cut lanes?
Yeah, they have to try to play with the map, push out the waves as much as they can with the TA traps, with the Terrapin illusions.
I don't know, it's playing slow, but they don't have many resources yet on Liquid. Jabs, however, Liquid Jabs does have a hook shot.
Nice one, Arvo. Nice one.
What?
I thought you were trying to play with the words.
Liquid Jabs?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no. I'm just trying to figure out who's who. That's the hardest part. The worst part is they also look very similar, right? So it's kind of difficult to tell them apart in the player camps too. In the lobby, I don't know if I can reveal this, but they put themselves in the wrong slots.
Intentionally.
Yeah, they're playing around. They enjoy this. He did say in a tweet he was very excited about playing against Jabs. Jabs, that is.
Now you're getting me confused. So they realize there's an observer wall there, so Ollie's going to quickly deward that. And they have to try to slow down the game, push out the waves, make sure that they have time to get this BKB on TA, like the TA and the Terrapin.
Q? Do they glimpse him? I mean, they have vision of him currently. Q is just standing his ground because they don't want to get glimpsed back too far.
I mean, he has strength more, so he's pretty tanky.
Okay. No armor though. One armor now.
I have Trian on my team. I don't need armor.
Okay, let's see if that's true. He just keeps getting glimpsed back into the Pango. There's the hook shot now. Jabs trying to kill Q.
He's buying time. He's buying a lot of time.
Oh, yes, he is. And now Liquid Jab's dead. Overgrowth from the Pango once again, stopping this roll. Mikoto starts to hit, but Mikoto gets stunned immediately.
And that's good enough for Talon. That's another couple of minutes for the Terrorblade to farm.
Okay.
He needs to get to the stage where they have BKB on Terrorblade and they have BKB on Templar Assassin. Like both of the heroes need their BKBs. And so far, they are still pretty far away from a BKB on TA. He's trying to get a shot before he gets BKB. Okay, so he's trying to, he thinks that there won't be enough time for him to get BKB. He wants to get as many items as possible to fight so the Terrorblade can farm. Interesting. We'll see whether it pays out for him. And Insania now trying to invade the triangle with Nisha once again.
Ollie. Yeah, they just hug onto the few trees he has left. Luckily they don't see him despite the fact they have a sentry there because he's just too far away from vision. It is nighttime as well. Hookshot though will Nisha onto Mikoto. This will be a huge kill if they can get it. Curse with the Ogre gets vision constantly, and that's gonna kill two. Mikoto, from the great start he had, is starting to be hunted down now, Winter.
Yeah, I feel like Oli has to try to play more greedy, you know. He has to try to shove up the lanes as much as he can, you know. I feel like at the moment he's mostly trying to break smokes and trying to protect the cores, but it's not doing enough. They need to get the map and try to force Liquid to deal with the lanes. If Liquid is forced to deal with the lanes, then the Terrorblade is going to have a lot of time to farm. But right now, that's not happening, you know, and Liquid gains another objective to secure the Roche. This Skadi on the morphing is going to be very, very huge. It's going to mean that the TA is not going to be able to play the team fights. this is gonna be hard for the TA. I mean, Liquid is gonna want to pressure even more after they get the Skadi. But with the Aegis at the moment, they should be able to secure more towers.
Now he finally got a TB BKB. It's all in on the TB, it seems like, this game, as he's also going to build a Scotty right afterwards, but they know they need him now.
It's not enough, the BKB. They are going to need the Scotty, like you said, to boost the team fight potential and to try to limit what the Morphling can do in the fights. The BKB is like, okay, you can maybe try to farm more aggressively and BKB and TP out as long as the hook shot is used. But apart from that, I don't see them using the BKB to fight.
See a couple TPs to the mid lane. As in the top lane, Liquid is pushing this tier 2.
They're smoking to try and take the fight. Oh my god.
Will they actually get the right angle here? Is Mickey, who seemingly is left alone, but doesn't have an Aegis, so he has a second life just in case. Wait for him. Oh, Onslaught still catches him. But there's no pulverize, and they force the BKB. Now the pulverize works well, cancel by the hook shot. Morphling dispels the silence. Now the overgrowth does hit him. He's going to go down. That's his first life down. Zai's being chased up in Mikoto in the backlines, but Jabs comes in to help him. And Mikoto, a nuisance, playing around the Clover Cogs, will finally get the kill he's looking for on Jabs. They did leave their carry behind, though. What's their plan? Glimpse won't help them. Mickey has waveform in 4 more seconds. He has a Pango nearby, Swashbuckle to annoy them. There's the waveform they were looking for. Another try to silence him, another try to slow him, and the onslaught catches up to him as well. Mickey gets pulverized, and he avoids the melt strike, but there's another route. He's not going home today.
Oh my god, Jabs. He just doesn't give up, you know. He knows that he has the ability to run him down, get the most important kill they can get in the game. You know, that's the Morphing kill. That's going to be such a big swing, you know, in the game. I totally did not expect Talon to be able to take that fight. I thought they were actually crazy running into that Aegis Morphling, you know. But they proved me wrong. They knew that their timing's much better.
Yep. There's a smoke, though, from Liquid, so they now believe that they're actually kind of strong to take a fight. Limps back. Just a Rubik kill for now. Shadow Amulet not gonna work, my friend. But maybe with a force there?
That's a dieback. 60 seconds on the sidelines. What can Liquid do right now? Can they actually claim more of the map? Or it's just gonna be a simple kill here for them? They want, they're desperate to get more on the map right now.
Right. Mickey is going to split away from his team, though, to, like you said, take advantage of the map, try to get the Scotty as soon as possible, get it ideally before the TB. And look at this, Mikoto sees a helpless Pango, got an issue with him with Jabs. The hook shot gets blocked by his own teammates, and the second Jabs is now killed by the first Jabs. The bigger Jabs eats the smaller Jabs, Winter.
Yeah, Talon is absolutely doing it right now. They've totally swinged the game around for the last 2 minutes. And right now, I feel like Talon's already starting to be in control of the game. You know, even though Morphling is still the top of the net worth chart, but it doesn't feel like Liquid's game anymore. It feels like the Terabit and TA cores, they have arrived.
Oh, another onslaught. Not stopped by... Oh, what a great kinetic field there.
Yeah, saving his life for sure. But Talon get the bigger objective. They got the mid tier 1 tower. They're going back to farm. And yeah, Talon is extremely happy with what has happened for the last couple of minutes, and Liquid has to try to find a solution. Skadi is one of the items that they desperately need on the Morphling. Pango's building into the Shiva's God. That's going to be very, very helpful as well against the TA and the Trailblazer in the team fight. But they have to figure out ways to deal with this overwhelming team fight that Talon has right now.
Yeah, we did talk about Jabs and how he was going to pop up in the early game. Popped up a little bit later than expected, but his team fights now have been spectacular. And we also saw the impact of the Blink Dagger on TA.
Yeah, he's getting to the backlines. He's targeting Disruptor.
Exactly.
Every time, and Insania is just getting popped by the TA. He has to try to maybe get a defensive item to deal with that, a Ghost Scepter or something that allows him to survive, you know.
Ollie is keeping him in check right now. He did check for sentries, which is why he dropped one himself, so he knows they can't see him. Can he catch up to him? No. Okay, we have a Heaven's Halberd actually on the MP now after the eggs.
Yeah, that's going to be very good against the TA and the Terrorblade. That's a pretty good item overall. If you can get it on the TB or the TA before they pop their BKBs.
Right, there's no BKB on TA, but soon to come. Yeah. 300 gold left.
It's a bit more... They need a bit more time before the second Roche spawns, so that's that. I feel like Liquid, if I'm Liquid, I don't really feel that confident taking a fight as of right now. I have to try to stabilize the game, try to get my next set of items. Maybe try to at least wait for the Shivas on Pango. I think that could be a huge item in the team fights. And we need the NP to get more items to do damage in the team fights. I feel like the Morphling alone is not going to be enough. The Nature's Prophet, he has to be contributing damage in the team fights. And bot lane, he's going to TP down here.
Ollie in the trees. They don't know of his existence, though.
No sentries.
Just walk around.
Oh,
Ollie, he's done these before. We saw what happened here against Shopify, against Entity. Whistle away. Ollie doesn't care.
Shadow Amulet plus Invis Strain.
QTPs, but Ollie will stay here in the safety of the Grove.
Man, that's gonna buy Talon even more time. Like, everybody's down here for Liquid. Oh my god. And they see it, the observer in the jungle there. They saw a couple of heroes in the jungle, so immediately Jabs on Talon recognizes that he's allowed to farm and shove out the wave, so he immediately gets 2 waves out. And yeah, and the map is back to 50-50 again. You're gonna have to pay a lot of attention towards this map, you know, like how much of the map can Talon maintain while dragging the game, while allowing the Terrorblade to scale and farm and finish his Skadi.
He's already halfway there with the first ultimate orb, and now enough gold for the point booster.
Talon is coming in with the BKB on TA. They want to try to get a pickoff here. There's a ward on the high ground.
Mickey, it would be a perfect pickoff. A Mickey harder pickoff. And they just annoy him a little bit. Glimpsing back Mikoto, he has a haste rune.
Wow, he didn't even have to pop the BKB. That's such a good thing for Talon. They forced out the disruptor ulti, and they didn't need to use the BKB on TA.
They also forced out the replicate. If they just ignore the Morphling for a while, they could play without a replicate here in this fight. Yeah. And if I-23 Savage knows this, they make the call to just try to re-engage, stay close to the enemy, make sure. And you can always go on them.
They have to be careful not to lose the gem, you know. Nisha has a gem right now. If they lose the gem against this Trian, that's going to be a huge disaster for Team Liquid.
Tabs has a gem himself as well, so they're also trying to get some map control here. And now mid lane goes Mickey. Now no replicate, no static storm, but Mickey is playing on the left side. Harder to initiate onto him. They're going to steal the waveform alone. Or the Active Strike. Yeah. That's the worst. That means nothing.
I mean, he has a stun. He has strength.
Now, right, it's true. He went full strength. I forgot.
It's actually a 2.5 second stun.
That's actually pretty legit. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, smoke up. So will Talon win another fight with this smoke back towards their jungle? Terrorblade's pushing bot. He's showing the enemy that he's there. But does Liquid know the smoke is coming? He's going to TP on the Terrorblade now. Who is going to get the jump right now? Insania!
Well, it's going to be on Insania. They're going to get rid of the Disruptor. Hookshot cancels the stone, but Insania has died. That's one dead though. They need a core. And the retreat is quick from Liquid. They're not going to lose any of the supports, any of the cores. Very, very fast, those TPs.
Yeah, very, very clean escape there from Liquid, just losing the support. So not the worst for them. They were able to secure the tower, but at the same time, Talon also secured the tier 2.
Oh, the double damage. Gotta be careful, Nisha. Rolls up into a ball. Swashbuckle, he's fine. He already used the blink to go up to the high ground.
He has the plate mail, so he is fine. He has a lot of armor.
Oh, good call. Yeah, the plate mail's actually helping him a lot there.
Now he has the Shiva, so that's gonna have a very, very huge impact in the team fights to mitigate the physical damage from TA and Terrorblade. So we'll see. I think this is going to be a very big item for the team fight. Roshan is spawning in 2 minutes, so that's going to be a huge contention of the game in a bit. And both teams really do not want to give up Rosh. So they're going to try to shove out the waves as much as they can before they try to make a play for Rosh here. And it seems like Talon is winning that the shoving wave better right now. They have the wave at top lane close to the tier 2 tower. And bot lane we have some illusions pushing out.
Savage. The high ground, Rolling Thunder will surprise him. No, it's actually for the Rubik. They're going for Q first. Got the Glimmer Cape off, however. That's not going to save him against the Morphling. Heaven's Halberd stops 23 Savage from hitting Mickey anymore.
So tanky.
He's just going to tank through this, but right now they finally got the damage from Talon they were looking for. The Glimpse will cancel Spiral Beast. Static Storm as well. They walk right into it with a BKB. TV ignores it. But he doesn't have anyone to hit. Finally, they get a target. It's going to be the Clockwork. Jabs dies.
Oh, buyback. They want to fight. No BKBs.
They do want to fight. Has heard the Curse of the Old Growth to get some vision. Ollie in the trees. Glimpse someone back. It's going to be the TA. That's perfect. Mikoto will die. He can't even hit back.
He has no mana to pop BKB. That's why he died.
Oh, wow.
50 mana shot. That is a huge kill.
Diffusal Blade Pango, man.
Yeah.
Diffusal Blade Pango.
But for Talon, it's pretty lucky that they still have the Roshan timer going. If the Roshan spawns right now, that's so bad for Talon. And Liquid has to try to play the map once again, get the waves out, try to create another opportunity to smoke, to fight. And we've seen in the previous engagement how tanky Pango is right now. They don't have enough physical damage to get through the shield crash and the Shivas.
They're controlling the area completely. Liquid knows right now. As long as they control this Roche, the TA doesn't feel like such a strong factor in their draft.
Yeah, and Clockwork as well in the previous fight, he was able to stop the Pulverize onto the Morphling, allowing Morphling to escape. That was also really, really crucial. Now Roshan is spawning. Both teams, I'm sure they are aware of the Roshan.
Of course.
Will we see a Mexican standoff or will we see a bloodbath here at the Roche pit?
No, Talon, they're smoking, but they're in the low ground, man. Doesn't seem like a standoff just yet, but for now they realize it is way too hasty. It is in C. Let's play with patience.
Yeah,
Liquid controls the high ground too.
Liquid has the map as well. Look at the waves. They're all pushed towards Talon's side of the map. They have to send somebody to deal with it at some point. And Liquid is just, like you say, being really patient, just waiting for somebody to show on the top lane or the bottom lane before they proceed. This is a very, very good textbook play here from Liquid.
They have Talon. Of course, they know where Liquid is, but they just can't engage. They have no options here. Yeah. They don't really want to give up anyone that pushed the bottom lane, but soon they'll have to.
They have to send illusions from the Chariot to deal with the waves.
Okay, the crowd just did a wave, much like the waves, and they're congratulating themselves. Good set of self-esteem for them. Much like right now, Talon will have to send someone down bottom to deal with a wave.
They see a hero top, immediately go into the Roche pit. Jabs has to run back towards the Roche pit if they want to be able to contest here. They have to go quickly.
Okay, Mikoto got stopped on the route.
Shiva.
He starts the BKB, is forced to use it immediately.
They forced the BKB. That's so huge for Liquid right now. Very nicely done. Not overcommitting for the Roshan, but they're doing enough just to force Talon to try to come over to have a peek and then forcing the BKB out. And they also going back into Roshan.
They just got Replicate, which means now they have Melt, more Mind Summoner for Roche. It falls even quicker.
Yeah, that's true.
They played this perfectly now, and Liquid will get the Roche. Not much. Well, maybe Savage activates BKB, wants to hit the Pango first.
He's running into
the pit, but it's not too late. Jabs versus Stealing doesn't snatch in time. Jabs hits the Morphling out of anger. Cancelled by the hook shot. Jabs BKB about to run out, but the Overgrowth does not the Morphling for a second there. Keeps on hitting soon. Mickey will just get rid of the enemy offlaner. Now he's fighting inside his own Static Storm as Savage trying to kill off his Nature's Prophet. He gets pushed back, however, and now they have to retreat. They realize Zai is out. Sunder on a really low HP target gets a stun with a roll-up, trying to get away with Rushbuckle. Will do so, but not in time. Reflection kills him as Savage dies. Ultra kill for Mickey. Morphling unstoppable right now.
There's one more hero, Mikoto. He has a DD, but he's stuck here.
He has no mana anymore, but doesn't have enough for a
glimpse. Vision.
Just off cooldown. Who's gonna give the vision? He's a little bit too late. Has traps. Mikoto. He should be
he's giving the vision.
They're committing.
Sprout.
There's the MP. Someone catch him. Okay, that's the glimpse. He's out of range.
Oh
they have to let him go.
That was close. That was so close. But Mikete on the team fight, asserting his dominance on 23 Savage just terribly. You know, he just couldn't fight him. He ran out of juice. You know, after the BKB ends, the Morphling just reigns supreme over the Terrorblade with the magical damage that he can dish out onto the Terrorblade. But in the fight, you know, Insania just saving the Nature's Prophet. I'm not sure if you caught it. He was able to use his Psychic Headband, push.
I told you to push the back.
Back, and
that was incredible.
Before that, they got the disarm with the halberd onto the Terrorblade. Like, he was just standing there for 5-6 seconds doing nothing.
That was such a heads-up play. I think we'll see it now here.
Yeah.
So he walks into the pit. You know, right now nothing much is happening, to be honest.
Yeah, he's trying to go on the NP.
Guy's hook shot cancelled.
No target. You know, he can't see a target for him, but he gets disarmed here.
First they kill Jazz while Savage tries to deal with Zai. Here's a Psychic Headband in a second.
Yep. Very nicely done. There's all the small little plays here, you know, by Liquid.
That Sprout was so on point as well. And even a roll-up stun to stop 23 Savage.
Yeah.
Even if Nisha dies in exchange for 23 Savage, that's more than worth it.
Just some good old Dota we're seeing here from Liquid, you know. Just perfect execution in the team fights, getting all the small details correctly. And yeah, they have a 4K lead now thanks to that. Daedalus is the next thing on the menu for Morphling.
Okay, interesting. What's Daedalus?
He feels like he needs to do a lot more damage in the team fights. He's not killing the Terrorblades fast enough, you know.
Jabs did take, the Thai Jazz, mind you, did take a surprisingly long amount of time to die. And, you know, Morphle doesn't care about that BKB.
Yeah, he wants to be able to kill as many heroes as he can in a short period of time. Once he waves in, he wants to burst heroes down. That's why he's going for this build. And he has the Aegis now, so he doesn't really feel like he needs to get the BKB yet. So he might not even get BKB this game. Maybe he feels like he can play the team fights without even getting one. You know, he just needs to wait for Nisha to create a lot of chaos in the team fights, roll in, pop his Shivas, and then he acquires his target and just go in, burst somebody, and rinse, repeat. You know.
Especially if Nisha is forcing the overgrowth for his Rolling Thunder, right? You seem to have a lot of freedom once that is forced.
And then Clockwork on Jabba as well. He's been doing a really good job stopping the Pulverize in all of the team fights, ensuring that Morphling is able to dish out damage without being controlled in the team fight. So props to the Clockwork as well for being able to do that every single fight.
Oh, Curse of the Overgrowth down bottom. I don't know if that gave vision of Ollie. It seems like not. Just out of range there. But a tower will fall down bottom. Liquid taking the last tier 2.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dangerous, pretty scary for Talon right now. Like the Terror Blade needs, I feel like he needs one more item, you know. Morphling has Butterfly, so he's gonna need the MKB to deal with that. Like right now, Morphling has the edge with the Butterfly. They're going high ground now, bro. This is not looking good.
Living Armor is gonna help his tower just a little bit. But this onslaught jabs. Oh, he grabs him. That's a good pulverize. He's gonna die. Saved by Nisha for now. Telekinesis catches him. But Mika has a wait for him. Gets away. And Cogs pushes back this TB. They know he's not Thunder. They're gonna respect Turn 3 Savage right now.
Liquid is just gonna wait for the meta to go down and let the Morphling heal and come back again. But fortunately, Aegis is expiring in 45 seconds. So Talon is gonna have to not worry about that. But they did lose their high ground tower here. So at the moment, they have to try to once again shove out the ways, try to avoid fighting until 23 Savage has his Metamorphosis up again, you know. Right now, he's just not going to be able to output as much damage as he normally can when he has meta.
Yep.
And Liquid understands that, you know. Even though, I feel like maybe without the Aegis, they should still push the high ground because they are way stronger with the Butterfly timing.
Right. And on top of that, like you said, the melee Terror Blade, not only is he not going to output so much damage, but he just can't get in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
He's going to get perma-stunned by the Pango.
As Liquid gonna try to force the high ground again here. Are they waiting for any items? They might be waiting for the BKB on the Morphling. He's gonna have the BKB soon, but if he waits for the BKB, Terror Blade is gonna have his meta up again as well.
What's the value? Okay, we talked about it. Value the BKB. He didn't value it super highly, but into the late game, what's he stopping here?
I feel like the BKB is mostly used to dispel the root from the Treant, because if you don't have the BKB, like the Treant can just do whatever he wants. You know, he waits for you to pop the Manta and he's just gonna root you. But right now you have two ways of dispelling it,
right.
So it's gonna make it harder for the Treant to play in the team fights. So I guess that's the primary reason for going back for the BKB right now.
Okay. We also have a Hex now on Jabs, the Thai one. Yeah, look. This Hex will also be stopped by the BKB, it's important. But there are no link-ins, no Lotus Orbs, nothing in like that, so it could be a little bit of an issue for the Morphling particularly. Could get surprised if he doesn't reveal that Hex.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
It's a huge item actually to get undiscovered. Maybe they check his inventory now as he pushed at the wave.
But so far Liquid has been doing a really good job protecting the Morphling in the fights, you know, even though he didn't go BKB for like 40 minutes. I feel like the Clover especially has been doing a really good job, and the Pango at shielding the Morphling in the team fight. So even though Morphling doesn't have a BKB, it's very difficult for Talon to find an opening to go onto the Morphling.
Even Insania as well, right, with the Psychic Headband earlier. Like, you have everything. There is an MKB now, by the way, for the Terror Blade. Does this equalize the matchup now, finally? You lost your edge?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the Terror Blade has a lot more damage potential on the Morphling right now. They should try to use this timing to take them by surprise. I'm not very sure if Liquid knows about the MKB, so this could be a really good time for them to start a fight and get a pick off on a key target.
Okay, they're putting a ward up here, just deep ward in the enemy.
Yeah, Liquid is so disciplined, you know, as a team, you know. They're not trying to do anything too risky. They're 6k ahead, but they are just trying to take things very slowly, play the map. They're always very good at shuffling out the waves and forcing, you know. Right now they're just forcing once again. Zai is forcing the bot lane, so once again, one hero shows bottom to take the wave, Liquid's gonna do something. They're gonna try to wait for somebody to show on the map, but Talon does not want to show. They are smoked again.
Yeah, second smoke by them. They already went to the mid lane. The smoke comes from the mid lane. Could it surprise the right target? Nisha. It's kind of vulnerable. They catch him fast enough.
Oh, he can't get the blink hex.
Can't. Those illusions surprisingly block him. And now Nisha's in. He does get hexed, but there's a shield crash buff. So he's not going to be killed. And another hex. Poor Jazz might just die. He's forced to activate the BKB. Nisha though, hunting him down. We're rolling Thunder. We do see a glimpse, but it's gonna be stopped by a BKB from Mikoto. They forced 2 BKBs with this.
No. What can they do with this? Can they force the high ground?
They stole rolling Thunder though. That's a pretty big steal.
Yep. That will allow them to maybe defend off the high ground. But Roshan might be spawning soon, so Liquid definitely knows about that and they're coming back to check. They're just taking things one step at a time, not giving Talon any room, to come back into the game. Talon has to try to find a way, The last fight,
Third smoke
I feel
now.
like, if they actually didn't lose the vision and they got the jump, they might have been able to win that fight. If they get the blink plus hex jump.
It's crazy that the illusions would what stopped the Primal Beast, right? But they were well positioned in the trees, broke the smoke, illusions broke the blink.
That's pretty hard. I feel like maybe they have to let the Trian run around in the map, try to set up some good observer wards before they try to make that kind of play again. Because without vision, it's so hard for the Primal to initiate blindly.
We just got a ton of experience, by the way, for Mika. They should be enough for level 25 and to get the waveform cooldown, most likely.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge talent, like a pretty huge power spike, so it allows the Morphling to be much more aggressive in the team fights. You can try to go for the supports more liberally.
Okay. Rolling Thunder from the Rubik. Clocker does not like this. He's gonna die as a result.
He has buyback if he wants to.
Mickey, he's like, okay, I'll kill you. Activates the BKB, but Q, he's invisible. They have no vision of him. Frostbolt doesn't get him. Morphling would just finish him off with auto attacks.
This might be the chance for Talon.
No
BKB or Mickey.
Oh, he tried to Manta dodge. It didn't work. Savage is forced out.
Yeah, but once again, Zai is just applying so much pressure on his Nature's Prophet, Even though they lost a hero, but you're losing the map as Talon, So every time...
Oh, he went for the 35 strength, actually.
Oh, he went for the strength.
Oh, good.
So I guess he just wants to tank up. He doesn't want to get bursted down in the team fights. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty reasonable as well,
2800 HP with 50 armor does sound a little bit ridiculous.
Yep, but Roche is going to spawn in 20 seconds. That is once again going to be the story of the game. Who is going to be able to secure the Roshan? There's a trap, so Talon's going to know once Roshan is up. Liquid just launch a rocket from the clockwork into the Roche pit, so they're going to find out Roche is going to spawn as well. They have to try to kill this TA trap.
So we just got BKB at MP. It is 20 minutes slower than usual because he didn't prioritize this.
Yep.
That was an interesting stat. What a terrible MP player. 20 minutes slow. Huh.
A late game BKB can sometimes turn the tide of the battle. So yeah. He doesn't want to get burst. I think the main thing is he doesn't want to get burst by the primal if he gets caught. So a BKB will allow him to survive that and just output damage, because I feel like in some of the fights, Morphling alone is not doing enough damage. They need the Nature's Prophet to be also standing there, dishing out the damage. So the BKB is going to allow the Prophet to do that. But the last couple of minutes, the Prophet has just been speed pushing, pressuring the map, making sure that the terrible illusions are not getting the waves out, giving Liquid a very, very big advantage in terms of map control and securing the Roshan.
We do have a basher just picked up, by the way, on Nisha. And they're going to smoke on this timing. There's a good way to control the BKBs, which they've been unable to until now.
Talon has a high ground ward here, They're just waiting on the high ground. This is the right play for them. Just not trying to take anything too risky. Playing safe.
Talon really holding on to the high ground is the right move. Now they're the patient ones.
NP is going to force them to go back to the base with this push about. Liquid is just doing all the right things here. They have to TP, they don't have a choice.
Oh, once they TP, maybe they can go into the high ground once they see jabs.
Roche, they're going to think about Roche. Talon lost their position.
Now Liquid, where do they go? They're going to go to the high ground. There we go. Mikoto. He's alone. They see him. Okay. They caught him telekinesis just in time, but Glimpse will send him back BKBs. He's fine.
Is that Roche right now for Liquid since you see TA not having his BKB up?
Yes.
That's a big thing.
This Roche carries an axe as well.
I feel like Talon has to fight regardless. They can't give this Roche. With or without the BKB, they have to try to fight the Roche.
Okay, that's what they're going to do. They're converging on it, Winter. They have Metamorphosis jabs. It's invisible as well. Oh, they got caught. There was a sentry nearby. Rapid Nature stops them. Shivas as well. Pango, telekinesis. The damage high. Has Aeon Disc just in time. Now the Morphling hit the target. Hook shot though. Stops him. Morphling on the styles. He's adapting. He's trying to attack the ship. Strikes from a doublet. He doesn't die. Mickey, the machine, kills Terrorblade again.
Oh my God.
Lift your arms, Mickey.
They were so close to killing Mickey. One more spell, one more damage, they would have actually been able to take him down and win the team fight. And right now, Liquid just in full control of this game. They don't have buybacks on Terrorblade. They don't have buyback on Rubik. Oli already used his buyback. Talon. This is not looking good for them.
Playing so well right now, Liquid. They know, even in a situation where the enemy team had the high gun control, they bait him out with bottom play. Look at this.
Liquid
They knew they could just do this.
Liquid is just too strong, you know.
The A on this Campango was so meaningful there. What a hookshot cancel as well.
Buyback on TA. Talon is on their last legs right now. What can they do? Can they hold a miracle-based defense here, Alvo?
We'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see.
If there's the will, there's the way.
Exactly. That's the C way, my friend. They have 26 seconds until 23 Savage is back. They have no more glyphs, though. They're not going to get it again. That living armor keeps the Rex alive for another second.
They can only defend the last Rex.
They have to. They have to commit to this. 12 more seconds. TV's back. Does TV come back with meta? He does not. He has Demon Seal, at least. There we go. That's his new meta.
Go in and tank.
Hex. He has Aegis, though. They can't commit to Mickey. They have to poke and prod at him. They need to have Swift Blink on Terrorblade.
They're going to need some amazing Thunder plays to win the fight.
Yeah. Okay, Demon Seal, I saw it. Swift Blink as well. And the reflection does hurt Mickey a lot.
Liquid is so disciplined. They're going to back off, try to shove the waves again, reset, wait for the next set of items. Just giving Talon no chance at all.
AC for the Nature's Prophet as well.
Oh, that's huge. That's why they were waiting. This is a huge item against the Terrorblade and the TA.
Stops most of the damage, makes her pushing a little bit faster.
Yeah, where is the damage going to come out right now? It's going to block so much of the physical damage. They have to try to jump the supports on the background. I feel like the next base defense they might have to do, if they still have a smoke, they have to try to go behind, try to kill the supports like the Core and the Disruptor. Deal with them first.
Because that Roche Disruptor also got the Ags as well. So now you got to be wary of not walking Static Storm without the BKB.
Like Insania has to be the first one to get killed in the team fight if Talon wants to win.
Or you have to preemptively BKB, which is the worst thing for a last minute fight.
Oh, they don't have a smoke, I think. They can't do that. Oh no, they don't have a smoke.
Oh,
they just have to fight it out.
They have, I don't know. Oh, Insania. Erosion already. Catches Mikoto. Mikoto got saved with all pieces. BKB prevents the glimpse as well. Mikoto's alive for now. Insania's dead. Static Storm got wasted. Side in a difficult position. TP. He can't flip. And now it's going to be the Pulverize onto the Clockwork. But it's the real target, the Morphling. Aegis down, second life. What do they have prepared for it? They try to do the onslaught, cancel, but shot there. He's not going to die just yet. BKB's gone for the Primal Beast. Mickey got the last remnant of the kill, but he knows it's a difficult fight to take. Oh, perhaps not. TA up in the air. Terrorblade's already available. They do still have a Sunder to save the TV. Nisha's out, not in time. And now it's Mickey turning into a big. They're both rising in. Both sparks for Liquid.
Talon does it again.
Jabs in trouble as well. He's just going to die.
Oh my god.
Easy kill, Talon. They actually held high ground. High ground, sorry.
And Zai, he didn't have buyback. He didn't have enough gold to buy back after spending all his money on the AC. Maybe a bit too premature the push, you know. They probably had to wait for MP to have buyback. And Talon is just another beast on the high ground.
Talon's cracking Liquid like they're cracking my voice, Winter.
How did they do the base defense without using any buybacks?
I don't know. Hex is all that mattered here.
You know, like I said, they have to get the back line. You know, they were able to kill Insania off right off the bat, kill the Nature's Prophet, and leave Morphing to last. I mean, this game, man. This game. So Terrorblade's gonna go for a refresher next. Alright?
Okay.
That's gonna give him another round of team fight spells, the meta.
That Demon Seal was actually super impactful, by the way. It's that extra bit of damage they kind of needed in some of these fights to burst on the supports.
Yeah, and the Sunder as well, you know. The Sunder is going to be very, very crucial in the team fights. How he's going to be using the Sunder. Can he use it offensively or he has to use it defensively?
For now, they want to at least take a tower without committing the meta here.
Yeah, Liquid does not want to use their buybacks here.
No.
Talon is trying their very best to force out the buybacks, but...
There's the refresher on Primal Beast. That's double Hex, Winter, double Pulverize as well.
Double Hex, double Pulverize.
Level 25 talent about to come out.
Oh, that's going to be huge. Pulverize pierces magic immunity. then you can control the Morphling in the team fights.
That's his plan. He goes for the right talent. You're right.
And this game is just getting so tense right now. Liquid all of a sudden, they don't feel invincible anymore in the team fights. They're gonna be feeling the heat.
Okay, smoke for only 4, the TA. Mikoto not joining them just yet. They're gonna go straight for the Pango. Cancel the polarizing time. Static Storm. They're fighting in it. The swashbuckle actually gets the bash onto Jabs, and Jabs will die. He refreshes, but he's already gone. 20 damage, stunned by caught. He can't move out. He actually the BKB. He has to fight back, but Mickey is a little bit struggling for now. Waveform kills him. Savage is just a tame kitty at the side of Mickey. And now they're gonna have the poor TA. She tries to go up in the air, but she's still stuck in the trees. She can't fly over them. Talon will not soar. They land on the ground. They crash in it, in fact.
Yeah, 23 Savage is the only person that has buyback. He's trying to shove out the way, he's trying to delay the push, but I'm afraid it might not be enough here. This might be the end for Talon here.
Okay, Metamorphosis, they also refresh just in case for a second meta. And Zai will be the quick kill for them. They didn't get the whole time. The cogs don't work that well, but buyback immediately from the MP. And Savage in a difficult position, gets clipped back. Can it feel? Savage just in time. Saved by the telekinesis as well. 23 Savage. He's alive, he's proving he's the strongest scorer here. Late game TB, it's all about him.
He has to heal, get his mana back. They have to fight, they don't have a choice.
Oh, they got Q. Q's disintegrated.
He has buyback. 3 on 5, Auro. 3 on 5.
They gotta get the best overgrowth of their life, but Mickey just turned into TB. He stole the meta. Q, buff back. One last team fight for the boys. 23 Savage. Meta about to end. Telekinesis for the Disruptor. They want to get rid of the Disruptor first, but the Sun happens in time. The Heaven's Halberd annoys this TB, and now he's stuck in the Pango roll. They forced him away, but the GG is called. The Ancient's being destroyed. Liquid. They will beat Talon 2-0. Stand and be damned. The true Jab has emerged, and he was the analyst for Liquid all along.
What a sad day for C fans. What a sad day.
It's okay, Winter. It's okay. C has many tournaments to win. A third place is still incredibly impressive for Talon.
They did us proud. I'm not gonna lie.
They came to the last day. It was an incredible performance by them. No shame for them.
Yeah, no shame for them. They should hold their head up high, be really proud of their performance and move forward, keep improving. They lost to a better team, Alvaro. They lost to a better team.
Yeah, Liquid looked incredible. They really looked incredible.
I mean, I told you the look on their faces today when I saw them in the booth.
It was a game time look. And Jabs, the Liquid one, showed up completely with his clockwork. They underestimated Hero Pool.
He was definitely way more comfortable today. Like even in the first game when he was playing the Riki, I feel like night and day compared to his game yesterday as the Mirana.
Yes. Now he actually felt comfortable in those booths. He understood how to play with the audience. Just did a fantastic job. And he was the bane of the enemy Jabs, ironically, because he could never get a polarize off. And the Jabs with the Jabs Super Bowl. Liquid ends up winning, and they're going to the Grand Final. Another Western European Grand Final for Dota 2.
I mean, regardless, I think we're going to see some top-notch Dota in the finals. Props to Liquid. They played well. They deserve to win. And for Talon, it's back to the drawing board.
Yeah, they'll have to rehash their mistakes, see what they did wrong in this final game. But honestly, I think Talon should be very proud of how far they've come this tournament. They seem to have upgraded in the lower bracket. They almost did one of the most impressive lower bracket runs in a major from literally the first day of lower bracket. Just full on.
Yeah, they've improved so much as a team. We've been casting them since DPC, since January. They've showed a lot of improvements. They became far better than they were in the beginning of the DPC. This team is going to be really strong in the future,
This team shows a lot of promise. It's a lot of hope for C. And of course, Liquid now celebrating themselves as they get ready for the Grand Final. There will be a long break for them, so don't worry, they're not playing the Grand Final back-to-back. We do have a cosplay contest in between. But right now, we're going to get the champions of this match to celebrate their victory a little bit with the audience. As we go back to the casters here. Winter, I know you saw your C brethren lose, but you saw good Dota today.
Yeah, I'm happy with their performance. Obviously, I hope they would have won the series, but take nothing away. Liquid played well. They deserve to win. They are the better team. Talon, on the other hand, back to the drawing board, find out what they could do better. But like you said, they should be really, really proud of their performance here. Well played.
Yeah. We brought you, I brought my sea clothes, it was from Malaysia. Didn't work enough of a buff. Next time I need to buy Thai clothing instead. That's the goal.
Yeah, give them more buff. Double
Yeah.
damage, they need double damage.
Concentrate on the wrong country. Maybe they add more Thai coaches to their group, right? Lakos is available. Who knows? We're going to have now to go to the panel, see what actually happened in this game, what they can tell us about this wonderful game too, as they go back to the panel to analyze this series.
We are here finishing off the lower bracket final, and if you can believe it, Team Liquid has won yet again. They get a 2-0 over Talon Esports, eliminating Southeast Asia and giving us a fully Western European grand final. And I have to say, it defied expectations. After seeing the performance yesterday against Game and Gladiators, I thought the loss of Boxy may be a bit too much for Liquid to bear. But today, they came correct, Jenkins. What an adjustment.
That is right. I mean, listen, this is the team that defies expectations. I feel like there had to have been a paradigm shift for these players at TI when they went through the wild card qualifiers all the way until their top 3 run. Like, this is not the type of team to lose it when they have a stand-in. It's like this has got to be one of the most resilient teams in the world, if not the most resilient team in the world, other than maybe Team Secret, but obviously they're not here, so we can't talk about them. This is actually the first time in 3 years since we've had a Western EU versus Western EU grand final. The last one was at Disneyland in 2019.
Oh, wow.
So this goes to show, I've heard a lot of people talking about, oh yeah, Western EU is the region to look at. It is dominant. It's like it's not even close right now. Give them 8 slots. You know what I mean? This region is insane. This just hasn't happened in a very long time. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this region. There's going to be a lot of eyes on all the teams from this region. People are going to start copying stuff. Maybe we'll see some SEA dominance. Some of these other SEA teams getting into the top 6 in the next tournament. But yeah, Liquid, they just look amazing.
I am just taken aback. I will admit, I came into the series today a doubter.
Same.
I really thought that the loss of Boxy and only having 2 days to adjust to the stand-in situation would just make them crumble. It would make other teams be able to see through their cracks, right? But they just prevailed, dude. I actually think Liquid are the protagonists. They are the main characters of this tournament. And this was, what a storyline, honestly. I mean, Mike, I just want to say, he played impeccably today. I don't know what he had for breakfast. Maybe he FaceTimed Boxy or something, heard some motivational words.
Or Matu.
Or Matu. But he came in today and he brought some of the best performance I've seen from him this entire tournament. It was just a masterclass. He was so masterful. I cannot praise him enough. And I love the adjustments that Liquid did today. I love that they had Jabs playing the position 5 in the first game, and they had him in the position 4 this game. They put him in the Nature's Prophet lane because Nature's Prophet wins lanes anyway. Doesn't matter where you put it. And he played really well, right? It wasn't like he was just there.
Yeah, no, he was a huge impact.
Yeah,
like,
go on.
The laning stage is like the big issue for when you're talking stand-in, right? It's like, it's not his role. He's a 3-position player, so they're just getting